Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast. This is episode 35. I'm here today with my man John and Colin of Crackers. John, aka Internet, and my man Colin of Crackers. And I don't know. I guess some people might be joining us at some point. Doesn't matter. We're just going to chop it up and just chat and see what's what. You guys can even start asking questions in the chat early and just kind of making the conversation go. But we're just going to talk and shoot the shit for a couple of hours. So
yeah, you guys help us fill some time.
This week I got a couple things. I finally got my SDCC Mobile Legends Raft set. I had a couple here that were for different people and what have you, but I hadn't opened any of them. And mine was coming loose from my man A. Shout out to my man Adam. I got that in, so that was pretty cool. It was an okay set, I guess. Everything was kind of loose, kind of like I don't know.
Like the joints and stuff, or
Yeah, the joints on everything was a little wonky, I guess.
do you mean like rubbery? Because that's how mine kind of was.
I don't know. You know what? I kind of feel like I like the way the Spider-Man is. Like, I feel like this Spider-Man moves a little better than the Pizza Spidey. It's already like, it seems like it's already broken in a little bit, which is good and bad. You know, you kind of want to break in your own damn figure. But,
Yeah, they definitely improved the hip torso on that one compared to the Pizza Spidey.
right, it's really low and like you can really get it up. I'm messing with it actually right now, but it's moving a little bit better than a Pizza Spidey in my opinion. What I didn't like about that one though, about this is the eyes, man. They seem a little too big and like I don't know if they're placed properly. Like I don't know, it seemed like a rush job on the eyes. It's not
Really?
It's the same head as the Scarlet Spider, right?
Yeah.
So I think the eyes on that Scarlet Spider were a little bit more rounded, and so they fill out that sculpt perfectly. But these are a little bit more angular, especially on like the upper part of it, what would be the C part of the triangle of the eye. And so that doesn't really fill in with the bend of that eye sculpt. It's kind of a little more concave, so it looks weird. But yeah, I agree.
it looks
I
like
mean,
it's not the worst, but you know, it's not as I don't know if it's as good as the old one as far as the shape and everything and
Mhm.
portions of it. But
Well, luckily they got the reds right, so you could just swap those heads.
yeah, definitely. I'm happy to have the figure. I think I wouldn't care about any of that if it had the
interchangeable hands.
hands. Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. I
But-
mean,
That was like the first thing I did when I got mine. I just dremelled the right hand because I pretty much just use them for like just fists. I'll probably Dremel the left hand as well, so I'm able to get like a thwip on that side and then like the wall crawling hands.
A quick second, just so the hole is big enough for the original.
Yeah. So like I just use the Pizza Spidey hands on him. But
Yeah.
in regards to like the eyes, like I think it's fine. I mean, it looks just like Todd McFarlane. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't bother me, but if there is, one of those things, that's probably why.
my favorite thing right now though is just like I look on eBay under like Marvel Legends Todd McFarlane Spider-Man, and I keep seeing the Toy Biz ones, and I'm like, that's not Todd McFarlane Spider-Man. That's J. Scott Campbell's. Like the design of the symbols and everything is completely different. Whereas if you look at the one that was released in the Raft set, it actually has the correct symbols.
Yeah, no doubt. But that's just old school collectors just always refer to that one as the McFarlane Spider-Man. But yeah, you're right. It was never intended to be the McFarlane Spider-Man either. It was what you said too. So.
What's the original name of it? It's like Wall Crawling Spider-Man or something like that?
Superposable wall crawling.
So, fuck it. Let's reach a compromise. Everybody call it that from now on.
I mean, might as well.
But yeah, the Raph one is definitely a better figure than overall, no question.
Yeah, I sold my J. Scott Campbell Spider-Man this last weekend.
How much?
125.
Yeah.
Man. I still have the Toy Biz Spider-Man that I ended up growing up with was the Urban Legends Spidey.
Oh yeah.
Not nearly as good of a price, but it's one of those sentimental value kind of things for me. Might keep it around.
The other thing that I liked out of out of the set was the Purple Man. I really like the Purple Man.
Yes.
He's a sleeper for sure, but I think like the one that everyone is like super sleeping on, and it sort of shows on eBay is Dread Knight.
Yeah, definitely. That figure is
Hmm.
really fucking nice.
Yeah.
Definitely,
That's
definitely.
like that's a definite must get. If I mean, I know I'm getting that one. I skimped out on getting the entire set. I just got Enchantress, Abomination, and then the Pizza Spidey. But I'm gonna go on eBay and just bite the bullet and get Dread Knight as well.
The Dread Knight is really, really nice, man.
That's the
Yeah.
one I was most excited about in the set because I grew up with that '90s Iron Man cartoon.
You
Oh
know,
How
yeah.
terrible it was.
the figure's nice as hell, but you get decent accessories. You know, you get the sword, you get the what do you call that? A lance? Is that what
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
the lance? You know, so you get the cape.
I mean, he gets the only accessories in the set aside from Enchantress's effects.
Right.
Yeah.
And Enchantress is definitely one that's gonna probably continue to go up in money because it's the more comic accurate version, like the one that's coming out in the Doctor Strange or in the
Yeah.
normal wave is not really comic accurate. So
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
even
arguably like
remember.
more modern because it's a less simple design. It's got more colors, seems a little more
Yeah.
ornate.
I don't even remember seeing Enchantress with like gold on her legs. I don't remember seeing it at all. So I don't know
Hmm.
what comic they're basing it off of,
yeah,
but
I don't know either,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Was yours kind of gummy too, Boog?
yeah, definitely the legs. Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes me fucking a long time to stand there.
Hmm.
Um,
yeah,
so yeah, but you know, it's a pretty nice head sculpt. It's spot on as far as the design. Sandman was like shit to me. Like I don't know,
Pharaoh.
was it like loose and like funny? But it's like it seems more like it seems like he is the accessories for the Sandman that we're probably gonna get. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like it's not even like I
Yeah,
don't
he's the Astral Doctor Strange equivalent from last year's
Exactly.
set.
exactly.
Exactly.
He's
That's
only there to accent your regular color one.
right. So once they do the regular color one, I guess you'll have a little fun swapping out and doing, you know, different arms and legs and messing with the head and all of that too. So I'm actually wanted to put the head from the Builder figure. I mean, it's not even, well, I guess it is a Builder figure, but put the head from this version on the old, um, um, uh,
Spider-Man movie Build-A-Figure thing.
yeah, I want to give
Uh,
on a dry brush and like
Yeah.
it up and then put this head on that one. And you know that figure's pretty shitty, but it'll make for some decent displays if you finesse it the right way and shit. You know,
I have only one piece of that Sandman. I think it's the arm, but I haven't tried it. But thank you for reminding me because I'll have to do that now.
it was hard to get, man. I ended up catching the entire build a figure at once on eBay for a decent price. But for you to go and try to get the individual figures for that build a figure is a pain in the ass, man. But yeah, so I got the raft set. I picked up Big Bad Toy Store sent me a cable from the X-Men Build a Figure wave or the Juggernaut Build a Figure wave. I opened that and I got Kitty Pryde from that wave. And I got package one of two of diorama from Al Figures. It was only the water tower and like some little odds and ends for the actual piece. So I didn't get that yet. That'll probably be here tomorrow, I guess. Really excited about that though. And who
Yeah, that
else?
thing looked amazing. I saw Al's video on it.
Yeah, shout out to my man. Who sent me? Oh, shout out to Adam Smith who sent me a little old man Steve Rogers head that he painted up. It was basically the Commander Rogers head, and he painted it up and made it look like old man Steve Rogers. So he sent me that little head cast. So I got that. Well, it's not a head cast, but you know, it's just a repaint of the head. I think I got one more thing. I don't know, Fabio, what you get? Let me think about this last thing I got.
All right. I rounded out my X-Men. No, what else? No, the Abomination wave actually. So I got the Scarlet Witch, which is really nice. I like the skin tone that they chose for her. The eyes on mine were really crisp, and she's got like a slight blush to her cheeks.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the best, head sculpts, male or female, that they've done.
definitely. I agree with that.
So yeah, she's a good figure. The effects are terrible, but what are you gonna do about that? They look like ice cream cones, like the swirl on top like frozen yogurt. And what else is in that? I got Wonder Man because I was so sick of my Toy Biz Wonder Man falling off my shelf. If there was any sort of like slight tremor, we live in California, any
Oh,
slight
my
tremor,
goodness.
my neighbors like putting some clothes away on the other side because we share a closet wall, anything, that's the one that takes the tumble and takes the rest with him. So I was more than happy to replace that, and he stands a lot better next to that new Scarlet Witch because she's got those heels. So it doesn't look like he's dating a trophy wife anymore, with this tall Amazon woman and this short, stocky man. Now they're about the same height. But it's a good figure, it's that same Grim Reaper mold. I like that it comes with those interchangeable, translucent effect hands, and then the effects themselves, so that's nice. What else is in that wave?
Captain Britain.
I got
Are you
Captain
liking
Britain, yeah. And, yeah, he's good. I didn't have the original Captain Britain, and I'm certain it would have been the same problem as the Wonder Man as far as falling over because it's the same
Oh, yeah.
mold. So
Oh,
happy to
yeah.
have that one.
You didn't
I've
miss
got my
the original one, that's for sure.
yeah. I've got my like international little section with Red Guardian and Captain Britain, and now I need a Union Jack. Hopefully they remake that soon.
They need to give
Uh,
us a Guardian.
Guardian would be good. What else is in that? Eel. Eel is the last one I got from this set for now. I figured I'd wait on the other two because, first of all, I'm not trying to build Abomination because I got the RAF set at Comic-Con, and so...
And that Abomination's colorway is like shit. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, the BAF has more colors, but the RAF set one has colors that actually make sense. I don't know what... I'm not a big fan of the purple shorts too much. The RAF set basically felt like an exact remake of the old Toy Biz one, like the way the colors are distributed and everything, the greens and the black shorts. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait on those other two. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The RAF one is more of a classic, the classic look to him.
Yeah.
But I actually still like the other one.
Yeah, the Build-A-Figure's still nice. I mean, I'm only missing two pieces on it, and I have the actual figure basically. But I like I said, it's got more paint on it, so it looks a little bit better. But yeah, I'm happy with the other one.
The two figures, though. I'm gonna definitely send you the other two.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll take them. And yeah, I'm just probably gonna sell that Abomination Bath though, and then keep those two figures. What is it, Iron Skull and Age of X-Cab, just to have around for random displays. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of collecting too many versions of the same character, especially if it's going to be easy to find. So
I don't know why they
in a
gave us
rush.
Age of X-Cap. That made no sense.
Right, and why pack the effect with him? Why not pack it with the last cap that we got, which already had a bunch of interchangeable hands?
Yep.
And then Iron Skull, why? Just why? Because it was easy.
Because cartoons, man. Don't
Cartoons,
you understand
yeah.
how like hyped up everyone is for that Titus Build-A-Figure?
Right.
The
I mean,
fervor
they're reading
cannot
that.
be contained.
You said it yourself. Look how many kids were at that panel. That is their demographic.
Who, mommy?
Titus. That's what I got. Legends. What else did I get? Oh, I got another Dutch figure. It's the Jungle Encounter one with the no shirt and the black vest. Because I'm trying to kit bash kind of a realistic look for the Contra guy. The guy that's like basically a pastiche of Schwarzenegger already. So there's like art of him, floating around where he has this like white tank top. He still has the red bandana and the flat top, but he's got regular military pants. And depending on which game, he has still the blue pants, but with a more like realistic blue camo to it, almost like Russian camo. So I'm trying to put that together, and I had to get some extra parts from some extra Dutch figures, which I found for pretty cheap on eBay. And I actually have another one coming in, like maybe tomorrow, which is the one with the shirt and whatever the first one is. Not the one with the jacket, but the one with like the I wish I knew the name. Anyway, the other one. And that should give me enough parts to have both of the Contra guys in like a realistic deco. Which they'll probably make anyway, but I kind of wanted to do this as a little side project maybe for a photo or something. Just for funsies, basically. And then I got... The only reason I got this is because I had an extra doll stand, but I got the 18-inch NECA Captain America from the first movie. I got it for like $75 on eBay, which is probably the most I paid for any of those figures. But I already had Thor and I had Iron Man, and I figured I'd get Cap because then I have some sort of excuse to have that Hulk. I don't know why I want that Hulk, but man, that thing looks fucking cool. It is. I don't know. It's gonna be a centerpiece probably. It's gonna really dominate every conversation in my house.
And this was made by NECA.
Yeah, the NECA. Well, it's a 24-inch Hulk, but it's in there 1/4 scale. So it's like a big 2-foot Hulk action figure.
Let it be known on the record that Fabio will literally ride or die for NECA until death. Literal ride or die. That shit is crazy.
Room, bitch.
That shit is crazy, dude.
I mean, that thing looks awesome. That, simply put, I think I just wanted the justification. I think that's about it. Yeah, I haven't really been picking up too much. Just kind of stuff that I jump on because there's a good opportunity. I am trying to get some of the stuff that Star Wars Geek put up on the web shop because I'm trying to kit bash. I have the first appearance Daredevil, and I'm trying to make Demolition Man, so I need an extra Wolverine head. So I figured I'll just buy his head cast, which has the snarling teeth Wolverine face from the X-Men Classics Tiger Stripe one. I'll just buy that, put it on the current Marvel Legends Wolverine, and then take that random neutral face they gave him and put it on Demolition Man. That way, 2 figures for the price of 1, let's say.
I feel you.
So yeah, shout out to Star Wars Geek for putting up all that stuff on the headcast. We'll get you a lengthy plug in just a minute, I'm sure.
Speaking of headcast, do you know of anyone that's doing the Epic Heroes Punisher, like headcast wise? Because I tried messaging Dave Castle, but I never got a response from him.
No. I would check. I mean, there's so many casting services out right now that a lot of people are putting out stuff that goes with what's current. So a lot of people are putting out Unmasked Wolverines, Punishers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just look maybe like Casting Cave or I think there's another one. Fuck, I have a link of them somewhere. I'm gonna have to check Figure Realm. But yeah, there's a lot of really good services around. Just look for Marvel Legends headcast.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if Dave cast that. Just give him a few days. He's doing quite a few things right now and doing some things for the A.C.B.A. Website too. So I wouldn't be surprised if he cast that.
For sure.
I mean, you're getting the demand out there right now, so
Yes,
make your voice
very
heard.
much so. Very much
If anybody else in the chat wants, an unmasked Wolverine head or Punisher Epic Heroes headcast, shout it out, make it be known.
I mean, if homie even wants to sell it for like $20 painted, I would gladly buy it. Because I'm not paying $40 for that piece of shit figure. I'm just really not comfortable with that.
I mean, there's some parts of it that could be used for like goons, for example, but yeah, it is a crap figure. I'll agree.
Yeah.
It's like only part that I would probably reuse is like maybe like Eden popping the hands off, maybe the boots too. But even the boots don't really have like the articulation that you need, and like the jacket, I already got Nick Fury, so
It's a very stiff figure overall, anyway. So.
yeah, very much so.
So that's it for me. John, what'd you get, buddy?
Well, I got the Toys R Us 3-pack, Captain America, Kate Bishop, and Vision.
Oh yeah, how much you paid for that at retail?
I paid $50 for it. I know that some people were getting it on the cheaper, but it's all right. It was impulsive.
As those things usually are.
I think
I've really had to stop myself from buying those things. Really trying to keep it just classic looks these days.
I think we may have those on the A.C.B.A. website this week. I'm not 100% sure if that's.
I know we have a Kate Bishop loose.
That figure is so good. Like, you guys were not lying. Like, that figure is really, really good. But if anything, that figure is so good that it basically creates the argument for the double jointed elbows, because that figure, it just really needs it.
Yep.
It really needs it.
If it had that, it would take that figure over the top.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Swap out some Harley Quinn arms and paint them purple.
Just bring the DC icons, man, to that booth. Hasbro, what are you doing?
Next time, I'm going to bring a NECA figure and be like, why can't you sculpt it like this? Why can't you get your likenesses like this?
Why can't they break as easily as this? Just Christopher Reeve Superman with an arm missing.
There's probably a reason they haven't done any Marvel stuff at that scale.
Probably. But I got the 3-pack, got Punisher. I really like that figure, but like I said, the head and then the trigger fingers, and I really don't like those generic boots that they're using for everybody. I wish that they would just like diversify it a bit. But I'm gonna just get the that Series 4 Punisher and do the heat and pop leg swap like everyone else.
You know what's funny though?
Oh yeah.
The generic boots on Punisher, they still are comic accurate. That's pretty much how it
Oh
was
yeah,
in the comic though.
they're comic accurate, but I personally I just want them with buckles. That's the main thing. I
But
like
yeah,
the
I
buckles a
want
lot.
another Punisher to keep one stock though.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm
Mhm.
trying to find one because at Walgreens they've been putting on like $5 price tags for all of their Marvel Legends. So I'm just waiting for Punisher to arrive so I can take advantage of that.
Just a heads up for anybody that's listening, we had canceled our Punisher orders in the shop because what happened was that the wholesaler had put them up for people to purchase, and then they realized that they weren't even supposed to put them up, that they weren't supposed to be getting them, but they didn't realize until it was too late, until a bunch of people had placed orders. So they ended up having to cancel it. But I was trying to do my own footwork this whole time to find another connect to get them, and I did. So we're gonna fill the orders for the people that for mostly the people that live in another country, that live out of the U.S., because it's almost impossible for them to get it. So we're gonna
Mhm.
be sending out emails to those people, and if you still want to take your Punisher, then you can, and then whatever's left over after that, if it's anybody in the States that needs, then we'll have them up on the shop.
Very cool, very cool.
Anything else, John? Light
Uh,
week for you?
I got the well, I got half of the rap set, like I said.
Okay.
A-Bomb, Enchantress, and then the rap Spidey did the dremeling of the hand, so now he's like acceptable. And I got to give it up to Hasbro because like that Spider-Man is easily now my favorite. And he just looks so fucking good next to that Venom with the McFarlane head sculpt on that one too. Like it just looks really good. So it's like it's pleasing me as someone that grew up with McFarlane's artwork and stuff. So I really enjoy that.
It's funny that you mentioned that Venom because I remember a time when that was one of the most sought after figures from that wave, right up there with Spider-Gwen. Everyone was after that. Just
Oh yeah,
today, or just yesterday, I saw two of them hanging side by side on the pegs at True. Nobody cares.
I know it's so
My
weird.
comic shops had one for like 2 weeks, a month even.
You should.
No
Damn.
one, I don't know. I mean, I'm tempted to pick it up now just because it's so easy. I
You
didn't
I
pick
should.
it
think
up at
that
first because I got the Marvel Select, but I mean,
oh yeah,
you're right. I think it would go really well with this Raph Spidey.
literally I put the selected one in the bin like ages ago. I mean, people can say that it's more detailed and whatnot, and that kind of comes with the territory of being a Marvel Select action figure.
Right.
But in terms of just likeness to McFarlane's stuff, it knocks it out of the park. Especially like the bulkiness of that
Mhm.
Hyperion mold. It's literally perfect.
And uniformity with the other symbiotes is a big thing
Oh
too.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's nice to see on the shelf when you've got what's
You don't
technically
want
supposed to be
to.
the same character with different symbiotes. So you'll have your Venom and your Anti-Venom and your Toxin,
Yeah.
and they're all standing side by side. They're all the same body mold, but it makes sense, you know.
Yeah, that was definitely a pet peeve when they didn't actually have this Venom out yet. But when I kept seeing shots of like the Marvel Select Venom, and then like they'll have Carnage who's on this really tiny Bucky Cat body, and then they'll
Yeah.
have like it's really out of scale. So I'm glad that they're like you said creating a more uh, uniform display. But yeah, I got the raft stuff, and then I'm trying to think. I got something else, but I don't remember what. But
Was it any NECA?
definitely not. Definitely not. They are
Just
not
check.
getting my money unless they release a comic Giant Man. Then they got my money.
You're
That
not even
thing
gonna
can
get that
break.
comic
And,
Superman?
nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Neil Adams, bro.
I love Neil Adams as much as the next person, but I'm skeptical to say the
I'm the
least.
next person. It seems I love him more than you because I'm getting
Oh
that
well.
figure.
Well, that's because you have that obligation to ride or die for them. You are under contract, basically.
Hey man, I might start negotiating getting review samples from them. We'll see.
I swear to God, out of everyone that doesn't like, out of everyone that does do reviews for NECA
Hmm.
figures, I'm surprised that you aren't like on the top of their list. Like, I would feel as though that they should like just call you. Like if you leave like your contact information like right now, I'm sure that you'll get an email.
Well, I mean, I'm in contact with Stefan all the time, as far as the
Tell them to hook you up with some samples, man.
yeah, I'll talk to him because I do enjoy doing those segments like for A.C.B.A. Saturday.
Yeah,
The Terminator comparison I did. It's fun. And
I enjoy your reviews.
I see a lot of not a lot of video reviews for NECA, and what I do see is very glossed over. But I see a lot of like written reviews with pictures and stuff, and it's there's a few people that do it really well with really crisp photo galleries like Toy Arc,
Yeah,
and Foosh, but there's some others out there that have this good relationship with NECA, but they're I don't feel that the way that they pose the figures in the photos and some of the Prisma choices that they
it's
make
okay.
to
You can
display
say
the
that they
photos.
suck. You can say that they
Yeah,
suck.
they're not great, man.
They suck.
I'm really trying to pussyfoot here because I don't want to be that guy, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's
You
really just
gotta
terrible
you gotta
photos that
keep
do
it
not
positive.
highlight the capabilities of the figure. I mean, we're talking about like twisted, turned around biceps and I don't know. It shows like a lack of knowledge or care for how the figures are engineered and how they move, and they're
Absolutely.
not they're not being displayed as well as they could be. Even getting into like a vanilla pose, they've got some like stanky
Who's
looking.
over there? Who runs Toy Arc? Do you know who those? Do you know anything about those people? Those guys?
I believe his name is Joe Moore.
You know what I see. Whoever's taking their pictures and everything is Chris, but I see that they tag these fucking idiots, and I can't
Yeah,
fuck with it.
it's one of those things where
Anytime I see that, whatever's that person
right.
loses all credibility with me. Like, I don't know.
You have to. That's a very Darius statement, but you have to understand. Not everybody is in tune with the
But
culture of it like we are. Some of it just realize that it's a way to reach a big audience. And there's
yeah,
nothing wrong with that, but
ugh.
I would
yeah.
I would rather take less likes on a photo than lose credibility.
But they don't know that there's credibility to be lost about it. Is
Yeah, they
what I'm
don't.
getting as that.
I would have.
They need
Exactly.
to
It
get
doesn't
woke.
matter. It doesn't
They
matter
need
that
to
they
get
just hear
woke.
it's like, oh, this is a thing that people use. Yeah, it's a good way to get people to see our photos. Let's do it.
Nah, I'm good.
Like when people tag Maddie Collector doesn't even fucking tag photos or feature photos, or for the matter of fact, exist anymore.
Right.
He
So
took that
yeah.
photo at SDCC and was like, "Yo, I need you to flip off Matty Collector's booth." That shit was so funny.
Dude, that shit was empty, is what it was. There was
Yeah.
nobody at those booths. Maddie was.
Oh
I mean,
man.
when New Day was there, it got popping, but for the most part, it was just the toy people just kind of hanging out, talking. I got to talk to Bill McKenna, just like, yeah, I got nothing to do. I'll talk to you.
Yeah,
But
that's
what
fun.
happened this week? Did anything? It was a lot of like just bullshit
Well, there
going
was
on.
there. We could talk about that, but I did want to mention so we can get it out of the way early. Let's call it like when a band puts out a new album and they want to do all the new songs for the new album first, just to get them out of the way early. One more bit of NECA news. Did you guys see the SDC the NYCC Turtles set?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that actually looks very good.
Yeah,
I
it
did you
is.
guys all cop?
It's
I'm debating.
all out.
Debating.
Yeah, I'm debating.
Well, your only chance now is to actually pick it up at the con because it's sold out in like 3 hours.
Yep.
Oh well. Oh well. I mean, I can always just wait until like secondary market or something.
Right. Well, for people who don't know, on Tuesday of this week, NECA announced they were kind of hyping it up a little bit last week. They're saying a big announcement's coming. Tuesday comes, they're like, "Hey, we're doing the long-awaited Mirage, Eastman and Laird, Foot Soldiers, and Shredder, which is the ones that they prototyped years ago when they did
Yeah.
Turtles the first time, but they never saw release because Playmates took the license back. So now we're finally getting basically the regular colors of the Foot from that SDCC set to go
Yeah.
with the Turtles they made 8 years ago. They're bootleg to hell these days, and still very easy to find. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. So they announced it on Tuesday. It was gonna go live for pre-sale on Thursday. It was 10 a.m. my time. So I woke up. They actually put it up at 9:55, which was some bullshit because I had my alarm set for 10, and I fucking ran up to get some water, and lo and behold, it was already up. But anyway, it's not like the SDCC set because you could actually pre-order this one online and it will be shipped. So that's really good. They sold out in about 3 hours on Thursday, and now the only way to get the set is actually at their booth at New York Comic Con.
And that is going to be one expensive army builder, though.
Oh yeah, I almost debated getting 2 actually, and just selling off my extra shredder just to have more foot, but I figured, 4 turtles, 4 foot, just one set, so to speak, of each. I'm good with that. And as soon as that pre-order went through and as soon as I saw the announcement, I went back to eBay and I bought an April O'Neil real quick before it shot up in price.
You're smart. Definitely
Yes,
smart.
sir. I actually saw that at Long Beach Comic Con last year for $20.
Still on sale somewhere? I thought that shit would be far.
Yeah, I got it at Man of Action Figures. Shout out to Toy Addict 26, George. I got it on their eBay page. I think the price went up a little bit since I bought it, but the only reason I paid $25 plus 10 shipping. Yeah, you know what? Here's my punishment though, because I saw it at Long Beach Comic Con last year, and it was $20, and I fucking put it down and walked away, and I didn't go back to that booth for the rest of the con. I was just like, I don't know. I don't really care for turtles all that much. I'm happy just having the turtles. But yeah, as soon as I realized that I could have a complete set of turtles foot, then I got to get that April. She comes with Mausers too, so that's another good thing.
How many? 3?
Just 2. But they're bigger than the Playmates ones that come in that big 7-pack, which I already have one of. They're bigger than that.
They have to.
And I think there's a feature where you can pop out their limbs, and there's cables that come out to look like they're all broken. Pretty cool.
Too many people with April or those Mausers as far as displaying goes.
Speaking of displaying those, big shout out to Matt K from the Foosh, the guy who did the photography for Articulated Icons. You can check out that interview on the A.C.B.A. community channel. But he did the photography for NECA's turtle set and the foot stuff. And I think he did the big rooftop diorama that they made for that too.
That's cool. Matt K is always around. He's always liking stuff on the A.C.B.A. Instagram and just other people's stuff in general. I always see him around.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
His Instagram page is Quetham or something like that. It's basically Matthew K spelled backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah. I just thought it was something really convoluted. Yeah, that's a really good way to say it.
Yeah, but he does really good photography. I like his stuff. I like his diorama stuff more so than the actual posing, but the diorama is hot. I like it.
It's just a kind of a cool callback because he did the ninja figures. Now he's doing the Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
I could tell kind of from the photography that it looked a little familiar to me, but I really like that set too. Yeah. I remember from climbing up rooftops when I was in middle school and stuff that I think he actually used those ceiling mats or whatever the fuck they're called, those roofing mats, because they actually curve up the side of the little wall there. So it's pretty cool. If you actually go to a rooftop, you see a lot of that, and it was completely minuscule detail I totally forgot, just from my childhood. But yeah, that set was really good. It reminded me of Pharaoh's set, actually, the one that Chris made for him. Chris Gupton.
Yeah.
And I need to get something.
They showed carded images of the Deadpool, the Revoltech Deadpool that's supposed to come out. We showed it on our Instagram.
Oh yeah.
That thing is going to be sold so much. I'm not going to buy it personally, but
it's already sold out. So it's not. If you didn't already pre-order it, you probably won't be able to get it, or you'll be paying
a stupid secondary market price.
Should mention the fact that Deadpool comes with cutouts.
Yeah, it does actually. So that's something that quite a few Deadpool figures have come with over the past few offerings from all the different companies, including Sideshow, and they've been including these little cutouts. But it is what it is. It's something that's becoming popular, obviously, from us popularizing it. But I mean, some people will say that it's Deadpool, so that's why they're doing it. But it is what it is. It's
the companies take their cue from the displaying community more so than anything.
No question about it.
And it only drives up the value when we choose to put out the Deadpool cutouts back, because people are going to want to add to that.
Oh yeah.
The Revoltech one.
Speaking of which, that pack should be dropping in maybe another week or so. The heroes and villains X-Men themed packs are shipping this week, in most cases. So
Yeah, Ty's been busy like a little bee sending out those snaps of
basically,
him packing everything. It's crazy.
Deadpool is going to be coming up next, and that's going to be a super limited set. So be ready.
Only 5 guys. Be ready.
But yeah.
Hmm. You guys didn't deny it. It's true. People are gonna take that as truth. As far as like any other big news, we did have
The thing
we
in the
got, we got
group.
pretty popular over the internet over the weekend, over the
Um,
week. Kind of cool.
that was so poorly written. Like, fun fact, I actually work at my local newspaper. Well, I work at 2 newspapers. One's a college one, and then the other one is an actual newspaper. I'm not gonna disclose the names. I mean, I'll do it off air, but not on air because I ain't like that. But that was the one of the most poorly written things I think I've ever read that was posted online, and that says a lot.
Yeah, it was very adolescent.
Right.
To say the least, to say the least.
I
And
mean,
I just feel as though that like it just sort of came off as if they were like disgruntled because like their photos got like criticized or something.
Well,
Like I
right.
you would think that somebody with common sense, somebody who is objective and just kind of looking at it and from a neutral space would that would be the first thing that they would probably think, that this person was just butthurt, basically. But
yeah.
it's even worse than that because he's never even posted anything in the group. Like,
Right.
so it's even worse. So
Right.
basically
Being
to the audience who doesn't know, some dude, um, his name is like Kelvy something, but he quickly changed his name to Frank Castle and changed his picture and tried to hide and shit after we realized who he was. I called him out. I posted his article in the A.C.B.A group. I tagged him on it because he's still a member. We didn't even kick him out of the group, by the way. But anyway, he put together this article talking about the
Article is giving it a little too much credit. It's a blog post.
It's a blog post, and it's a blog post on a blog that hasn't been active for a very long time. It's probably the only post on the blog in the past like couple of years or whatever. So he put together this blog post talking about the culture of critiquing in the A.C.B.A group and basically trying to warn off other people to say that if you're not professional or you don't have fancy equipment or stuff, then to stay away from the group, that it's just a nasty environment and people are yelling at other people and telling them their shit sucks, and
That the admins condone it.
yeah, and that the admin are
goodness.
all for it, and like obviously this is bullshit. Obviously, the people in the group know that it's bullshit. It's just a lot of people on the outside that think they know, that have a few people that have agreed with them. I wouldn't even say it's a lot of people, but it was wrong. It was just, and when I say wrong, I don't mean that like I'm hurt or anything. It was literally wrong because it was just not accurate. It wasn't an accurate depiction of how the group is or how things work. And we absolutely don't condone anything that would hurt the group or give the group a bad name. In fact, we work extremely hard over the past 4 or 5 years to make the group better, to make it a more friendly environment, to make sure that we're in a position to continue to churn out the best work. And I think that shows. I think if you look at our Instagram and you look at our fan page and you look at articles, legit articles that have been written, like the article in the National Grid that went up last year, and different things of that nature, you'll see that the group is tremendous, and we're doing obviously some of the best display art on the net. We're the group that people look to.
It's
And
okay to say the best. It's okay.
if what he was saying was true, then we wouldn't have this huge following. The brand wouldn't be doing good. We wouldn't be selling merchandise. We wouldn't be doing any of the things that we were doing if that were true. Now it's a few little butthurt people and a few little people that just can't get with the culture of how the A.C.B.A group operates, and that's fine. We're not mad at those people. We not. It is what it is. You do your thing, we'll do our thing. But to put up something that's so obviously biased and not really even
Mhm.
report from both sides of the coin. It was just very adolescent. It was a bad piece. It just wasn't well written in any regard. It had so many grammatical errors, and then it was just a bunch of bold-faced lies, like just blatant like lies, basically.
And not even any like screenshots, nothing to back him up. Just a
Exactly.
bunch of
I
baseless
was just
claims
gonna.
that you're just expected to take at face value. Like, come on.
They operate the same way in which Trump voters operate. It's like you can tell them a fact, but they're like, no, I feel as though that the country is
Right.
not in a good place. I
Right.
feel.
I wish dude would have at least defended
Right.
his piece. I wish he would have came in and said something or said anything. He didn't say anything. He hasn't, addressed it. He hasn't spoken to me directly. I hit him up in a PM. I hit him up in a PM before I posted it in the group, and he hasn't said anything. So it's been some people that have had shit to say. Kurt Brown, who's a fucking pain in the ass. Let me just tell you. Um, I was going back and forth with him for a while on his timeline because he posted up the article as if he agrees with it and basically gave people a platform on his page to kind of bash A.C.B.A. and me. And that's what they did. People came on, a couple of people, literally a couple of people, two people came on. One dude in particular said, fuck A.C.B.A. and fuck the owner and this and that. Like, I don't know this cat. I
You
don't,
want to know
I
what's
don't know
really
him.
ironic? Like they were creating the article because they were against bashing, but by fostering that sort of environment, it creates that which they are
No
trying
question,
to rebel
no
against.
question about
Like,
it. No,
how fucking ironic.
no question about it. So, it was literally like, I would say maybe like 5 or 6 people that went nuts, that were just like completely like disrespectful and saying wild things. Again, we're not talking about hundreds and thousands of people and the shit going viral or anything like that. But, I like to address shit. We address shit head on, and it is what it is. So,
Right. And people want to say that us, having something to say about this is, us coming out to defend, or there's a more derogative way to put it. Like we're just acting so defensive about it, and we're just attacking people about this whole thing. And it's like, no, like you're saying things that are incorrect, and we're trying to right the record. It's not us just trying to deflect or anything like that. We're trying to really right the record here, and nobody's standing on their own 2 feet. This guy, again, you called him out. Even somebody who we admitted into the group, basically on the same basis that this guy wrote the article. He had a negative opinion of A.C.B.A. because of things that he had heard from other people, and he had other people in his ear or in DMs or whatever telling him like, hey, you be the guy to confront A.C.B.A. and you be the voice of the voiceless, or however they wanted to martyr him. And they literally did martyr him. He came out, he spoke his piece, he spoke basically on behalf of all these other people, and when asked to back him up, nobody would stand up for him. Nobody would
literally
come
not
in
one
his
person.
defense and be like, yeah, I'm one of the people that feels this way, and I told this guy to come speak to you guys on behalf of us. And like, no, like they literally just left him out to dry, which shows a lot about the character of these other people too. Not only are they want to complain and they want to talk all this stuff behind the scenes, but when asked to really, like, again, stand on their own 2 feet and really like stand behind their convictions and what they feel, they're just like, nope. Like like two dogs unchained, and then suddenly they whimper away from each other.
The funniest
It's
thing though is just like literally in my experience of just being in the group as briefly as as I have been. I didn't join the group up until like probably 2 or 3 months ago, but I've always like kept a close eye on everyone. But actually interacting with the group and like just looking at the photos and then looking at the comments that people leave, I've never experienced or I've never seen anyone's photo getting bashed. I've seen
mhm,
suggestions. I've seen, positive critiques. I've seen people that have like, little issues with, little aspects of a photo, but I've never
mhm.
seen bashing. And so when
Yeah,
I hear someone that's saying, oh, A.C.B.A. just bashes photos that don't, use certain things, or they're so, they're having to use all of this fancy technology, and so if you aren't able
Mm.
to shoot at that level, you're gonna just get bashed. Like, how old are you? And
Right.
did you not actually experience it firsthand and you're just going off of what other people's interpretations are? Like, that's so idiotic. I'm speaking as someone that I'm not affiliated with A.C.B.A. I'm a big fan, and I'm lucky enough to be on the podcast. But I'm not an admin. I'm just a fan like everyone else that's in the chat. But I have never seen anyone's photo getting bashed, and I've only seen professionalism. I've only seen kind, courteous individuals that are just merely trying to get each other better. So I don't understand why that article was even being penned, and I think that it was just a real disgrace to what actual journalism and what actual like editors and people that write editorials and whatnot. I think that that's a huge disgrace to even like call it an article.
Exactly.
It was just a huge rant that was on a website that they themselves created.
I mean, he even called it a rant. It's called the A.C.B.A. rant.
Oh yeah, it's lost credibility off of its own title.
Right.
Yeah. Let me and just in the spirit of transparency and shit, like I never get out of character online. You never see me, hooping and hollering and cursing people out and threatening anybody or puffing up my chest or acting big and bad or nothing. I always remain on an even keel. I'm always professional. I always hold it down for the group, and it's always about being the best representative of the brand that I possibly can be. So I'm always very weary of how I move, what I say. On my channel, I will say things that are a little more risque, I guess, in main course and shit like that. I'll say what I want. I'll curse a little bit. But as far as the group goes and handling business for A.C.B.A, I always do exactly what I'm supposed to do, and I never get out of character. But I'm always met with every so often I get met with this level of disrespect and this nastiness from people over the net. And the only reason that they would do and say these things is because of the luxury that the space, the internet provides. Like, I know for certain that, 99% of these people, if you were face to face with them, they'd be a totally different person. They wouldn't be saying these things they say.
Course.
But
keyboard warriors with their keyboard swords and their monitor shields.
Yeah,
right.
Keyboard warriors are e-flexing.
I mentioned Kurt Brown, and Kurt Brown is not one of these people that have threatened me in any way or even said anything that was rude or disrespectful. He's just very opinionated. He's just a pain in the ass, really. But he hasn't said anything that was. I would say that he hasn't said anything that was out of character for him. So I'm not like I said,
he didn't call you a dick bag or a weakling,
nothing like
whatever.
that. That's not even how he gets down and shit. Like I said, he's a pain in the fucking ass. He gets on my nerves. I think he talks too fucking much, but he's himself as far as being respectful and not saying anything that's out of line. So that's one. But he did put up that post and it did allow people to get on there and try to bash me and say certain things or whatever. Then there's another group who, first of all, in the history of A.C.B.A, there are too many groups to even count that have sprung up as what they would call an alternative to A.C.B.A or trying to piggyback off of what we do, and they will make a name that's very similar to ours, and a lot of times they'll have to change it and this. So there's another group out there. I'm not even going to mention the group. They were originally something that was very close to Articulated Comic Book Art. They ended up changing it to something else. Most of their admins ended up leaving the group. There was one admin in particular who stayed in the group. We never kicked them out. Again, we don't kick out people normally. We don't kick out people just because we don't like them or don't like what they say or,
right. You gotta be posting inappropriate stuff or Oakley sunglasses sales or something.
You got to do something. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to do something that's directly against the rules and guidelines more than one time, more than likely for us to boot you. So there's a guy named Rick Conroy. If you want to find him on Facebook, it's RickConroy. Right now, his profile picture is him and I guess his wife, and he's got on a Superman shirt. But he was one of the more outspoken people from this other group, and he put up a post in his group. And this is something that we never do. I would never condone this. I would never put up a post in the A.C.B.A group to say, yeah, let's all gang up on this other group, or let's all bash this other group. Yeah, that doesn't do anything for the image of A.C.B.A. It doesn't do anything for the community as a whole. It doesn't do anything for collectors and us breaking certain stereotypes about nerds and this and that. It's all negative, so I would never do that. I would never condone that. He put up a post in his group saying, all right, let's use this article about A.C.B.A or the uproar about A.C.B.A to uplift our group, basically, right?
What the fuck is a group with
which
400
had like
members
less
on the
than
dude?
200 members.
Yeah, 400 members and probably 40 active members.
Right,
The fuck
exactly.
they gonna do?
Let's all gang together for this witch
So
hunt.
he puts up the post in his group. One of his admins is also an active member in A.C.B.A and also an active member in PNP. And, immediately that person was just like, you know what, I'm not with this. I'm not in about like group to group fighting and this and that. And he said, you know what, I'm going to step down as an admin from here. And he showed me the screenshots and everything of what these guys were saying. So I sent Rick a message because I had already been in contact with their admins last year in 2015 about them making the other group in the name. And, they were very disrespectful to me. I was dickhead. I was this, I was that.
Right. Wait, so they were a dick to you because you asked them to change the name that was like way too similar to ours?
Right. So, again, asked them, I sent out
kind of a shitty thing to do, right?
Sent out a group message, very respectful, very cool. Immediately, they started trolling, disrespecting me, calling me names, all of this, whatever, right? So that conversation, on Facebook, those conversations, they stay there unless the person tries to erase it or blocks you or whatever the case may be, the conversation is there. So when I approached them again about this message that he put up in his group, I approached them as an admin to another admin to say, yo, listen, like, if you don't like me or you don't like the group or whatever, you can leave the group, but like, there's no point in you trying to create a group to group war. Like, that shit is just silly. Like, I don't condone that. I wouldn't do that to your group. And my group is 20 times as big as your group. And if I really wanted to use my power or use the group's power to crush out this group, we really could, if we really wanted to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
we really don't.
For what? You know what I'm saying? For what? What would we gain by doing that? So I said, listen, I said, this is, I'll tell you exactly what I said. I said, this is childish and unnecessary, Rick. Since you're the only remaining member of your group and our group, we decided to remove you today. So, our admins decided that we're going to remove him because he's basically trying to
spread negativity.
He's trying to start a riot, basically. He says, just capitalizing on your shortcomings. Thanks for being a douche to the end. That's his response.
Some of these cats do not know how to actually act their age, and they're just still focused on that shoe size.
I said,
like a fucking supervillain. What kind of shit is that? Come on.
This is not what the community is about. If this is how you uplift your members, that's unfortunate. That's not how we operate. Rick Jones is another admin of this other group. His name is RickJones. His profile picture right now is an Iron Man. He says, I haven't been on your page for a long time. Goodbye, dick breath. That was Rick Jones. So I said, ha, ha, ha. Rick Conroy says, this is exactly how you operate toolbar. And I said, my shortcomings, question marks, ha, ha. I said, I won't disrespect you guys, He goes on to say, this is exactly how you operate. No, he says, tool bag. Sorry for the autocorrection. I would
have committed a toolbar. That was a weak move.
Have you been there? I guess he was trying to say, I haven't been there to dig at you. Your group is neat, but you are a bad person. That was Rick. Your group, is neat, but you are a bad person.
And you haven't talked to this guy in a year?
Do they even fucking know you?
I don't know these motherfuckers. I don't know these dudes. Let me explain something to you. I personally know and have hung out with a good amount of people, mostly people from the East Coast, a few people like my man Russell and Day and other people who have come from other countries. I've met a ton of people through collecting. 99.9% of those experiences have been positive, have been great. I haven't really met anybody in person that that I'm like, yo, I don't really fuck with them or whatever the case may be. This has been a extremely positive experience as far as this whole thing goes. So these cats that call me names and disrespect me, and it's a couple of that'll say like little racist shit on
We
on.
know what it is about, though. I mean, let's not give them more credibility. It's
I don't know
jealousy.
you. They don't know me
Fucking
personally to
jealousy.
speak to me in this way and to say anything. And to keep it all the way 100, if they knew me, if they actually knew me, I promise you they wouldn't behave in this manner. I promise you. I don't do anything online that would make you feel like, you know,
You don't do anything offensive. You're not an asshole at all. In
creative
my experience with
or,
you, it's
I'm not bullying anybody. I'm not, I'm chilling.
no.
I'm 100. I'm chilling. Let me tell you why I'm chilling. Let me tell you why this shit doesn't phase me, or I don't get upset easily, or I don't get, nothing is shaking me to the core. I'm 35 fucking years old. I grew up in Harlem. I grew up on 122nd Street and Lexington Avenue in Spanish Harlem in the 80s when New York City looked like Lebanon. When on every other block it was an abandoned building. I grew up in the height of the crack epidemic. I'm from that. I'm from the streets and everything that comes with the streets and everything that you can imagine that has happened from that time until now. I did it. I've done it. I've been through it. So right now, as an adult with my own kid and just trying to relax, I'm relaxed. And like, trust me, nothing that you're saying or you're doing is gonna fade.
That shit don't hold credibility to a bunch of people who've never really been through a struggle like that, man. I don't think they really grasp the concept of the way people like grew up, man. And that's why, you get a lot of them say, "Oh yeah, the toy gangsters and this, that, and other." You don't got to be gangster to slap the shit out of a motherfucker.
No,
Like,
not at all. Not
I'm
at
gonna
all.
keep it funny with you. I'll slap the piss out of somebody quick. I'm not finna sit around and argue with a motherfucker back and forth. Not in person. I'm on full auto for real.
Not at
So
all.
I mean, I try to like I talk shit on the internet. Motherfuckers talk shit to me. I talk shit back. But I mean, I'm telling you, man. I'm 6'2". I'm 244 pounds. I'm telling you like it is. I'm gonna put my hands on you. I'm gonna try to choke the life out of you. And a lot of people
Let the
come
record
with that
show.
bullshit. I read the comments like, oh yeah, the internet gangsters, this, that. I promise you, you will never in life. I'm gonna just say it like this: never in life will you ever run into a black toy collector and ever call him an internet gangster if you meet me. Ever. Never, ever. You're gonna be like, dude, that black dude might slap the shit out you.
Dude, I don't care if you're Andre the Black Nerd or Pharaoh Black. Yeah, nobody.
Nothing.
I mean,
Trust me, I've seen it. I've seen it happen many, many, many times. When I see you in person, I see you. You don't behave how you were behaving before. When you see me, when I look at you in the eye, you're gonna know that I'm not for play. So you can keep on doing this crazy shit. Anyway, I'm gonna skip over all of that. How I ended the conversation after all of the dick breaths and dick bag and shit. I said, I'll say this again. Look at the history of this conversation. It goes back a year or better. Just remember, I never disrespected anyone. Stand firm on your words, gentlemen. That was it. You still talking? Chad Lutz is another guy. Chad Lutz, CHADLUTZ, is another one that likes to talk crazy. He's got a picture of the brothers. I guess it's that movie with Will Ferrell and whatever. It's like a
Step Brothers
or whatever. So yeah, you can find these people on Facebook. These are the internet gangsters. These are the guys talking crazy and disrespecting people that they've never met and talking wild. Like, yo, I know better than that, man. I don't underestimate nobody. I don't take nobody for granted, man. I'm not gonna mouth off to you over the internet or say nothing to you, especially if I don't know you. I don't know your pedigree. I don't know nothing about you. That's just not how I operate, man. I don't operate like that. I've seen enough to know better than that. Again, I'm from the hood. Trust me when I tell you, I've seen it all. Shot, stab, all of that. I've been on both sides of a weapon. Trust me. I'm not the one.
the danger zone.
So, y'all could keep on disrespecting me and keep on saying these racist things and saying all of these different things. But at the end of the day, what I'm doing here is 110% positive. What we trying to do, we're not on anything negative. We're not trying to put nobody down. We're not trying to do anything to intimidate anybody. But you're not going to intimidate me. You're not going to disrespect me.
Or Pharaoh Black, for that matter.
It's just not going to happen. I'm a man first. At the end of the day, it's not. It don't even have nothing to do with being tough or big or bad. I'm just a man, like, you know, like man to man. Don't treat me like that if you don't want me to treat you like, you know, in the same way. Treat me how you want to be treated, and that's what it is. And that's how I approach people. That's how I am. I'm overly respectful to people because I know that it gets real in the streets. Like, so I'm overly respectful to people for one, because I know, and for two, because I know that if I'm respectful to you and you are crazy disrespectful to me and out of line to me, then when I do smack you, then I'm totally within my right to do that because I was respectful to you from jump. So listen, be careful, man. Be careful. You know, be respectful. I'm trying to build something here. I'm trying to do it 100% positive, do it by the book. I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm not putting anybody on to disrespect somebody. I'm not leading the members of the group to act out and lash out at other groups or nothing like that. That's not how I operate. That's not my style. So yeah, Rick Conroy, Chad Lutz, Rick Jones, those dudes. You know, who else? It was another guy on Darius's post this past week, and I'm gonna tell this story too. You know, in all transparency, I'm gonna tell this story as well. What's this fella's name?
But just to interject while you're figuring out that guy's name, let's make it very clear that the reason why all of this hatred and violence is occurring from this other group towards your group is simply because they are jealous.
Yeah. Oh, no question about it. No question.
It is simply because you have already cornered the market on something that they themselves were not creative enough to think of.
Right.
So it's more so that they're angry at themselves that they didn't jump at this already.
Is they're not really displaying at the level that people in the group.
Oh, of course not. The quality from that group, the quality of that group does not hold up. Period. Even the admins.
I mean, this story's been told 1,000 times
of course
someone getting scorned in the group and going off to start their own thing. I mean, it's to varying degrees of success, but never as much as the original product. Everyone knows the real McCoy when they see it, you know?
Of course. There was a Twitter a tweet that it was like, be careful of certain groups because like some of the members of that group used to be members of another group, and then they themselves broke off from that group and created the Franken group.
Right.
Like, yeah. that tweet is literally those groups.
I think I posted that on my Instagram before, but yes.
Yeah, I think that's where I saw it.
A lot of
is
times,
literally
it's a lot deeper than what a lot of people go through, man. As far as what they say their problem is, because I don't really think that the problems really stem from anything that has to do with the actual group. Even like with Kurt, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with Kurt the long way, man. Kurt, you know, me and Kurt got a real good relationship. But even like when we were on this post and I said Kurt's problem stems from something that has nothing to really do with A.C.B.A. at all.
Right. Yeah, it's a deeper issue, that a personal situation that he's had with somebody who just happens to be a member of the group and happens to be an admin, and it really don't got nothing to do with A.C.B.A. So yeah, he's a little pissy about that, and what it is. He you know, like I said, he's just a real outspoken motherfucker. That's he just got to speak on every fucking thing, and that's the first thing that I said to him when I addressed him on his post or whatever. But again, Kurt, I could deal with. Like I said, he's a pain in the ass and whatever, but I would rather deal with somebody who's just constantly speaking their mind in a respectful way than saying, you know, dick breath and all types of crazy stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, man, that's just stupid, man.
No, it's fucking, it's just dumb. But
the standards that people,
capitalizing on shortcomings with your group with 400 members and 60 active members. How much capitalizing are you doing?
Right. What do they think they're rebelling against exactly? What do they hope to gain?
I don't know.
We're going to rebel against constructive criticism.
This is the other fella. Mike Horsley, MyKehorsleY. Mike Horsley's another guy. He's a good guy. By the way, I'm totally sharing this. I rarely share anything. He was happy about the article. He had this to say to me. Let's quote Mr. Mike. What did he say? Yeah, fuck A.C.B.A. and the dude that runs it. Not fun, not helpful, just high and mighty douchebags who think their shit don't stink. Yes, there are good picks there, but there are a lot of other talented artists elsewhere that are not as rude and judgmental. It is like bad reality TV. So he goes to say that the group is rude and douchebags and disrespectful, and he's being rude and disrespectful to say.
Well, I mean, I would agree that there are other talented photographers out there. I don't see a group that's doing it as well as A.C.B.A, but sure, there are other people that are out there that do really good display work that aren't necessarily affiliated with, the group. But in terms of just the professionalism that A.C.B.A has displayed over the course of, I've only been following you guys since 2012. That's not a lot in my opinion, but from what I've seen, it's been nothing but professional. I haven't seen anything that has warranted a toolbar, or did he
bag? He meant to say
tool bag, dip breath. First of all, if you're speaking to someone online and you're talking about their breath, like, I can't take you seriously right then and there. Like, it's just it's 12-year-olds, man. It's 12-year-olds. That's
12-year-olds, dude.
That's really that's sad.
I don't understand how people get upset about what the group is about when you do not have to, like, when you get sent a set of rules and you read and you say, "Oh man, I don't want my shit critiqued." There it is. There's your out before you even see it.
That's it.
You sign the contract.
Like all these basic rules that people seem to be so against. It's just like a rubric. It's guidelines to create a good photo or display. It's like when you're writing an essay, you have 5 parts to an essay, really 3 parts, but you have your introduction, which needs to have your thesis statement. That's like a rule. Like your introduction needs to have your thesis statement, which introduces the rest of the points of your essay. Then you've got your 3 body paragraphs, and then you've got your closing paragraph. If I was to go to school and get assigned that, and I'm like, I want to get away with fucking 3 paragraphs and be like, yeah, call it a day. They're like, no, you did this isn't right. You're missing some of the requirements. You're missing 2 body paragraphs.
Even deeper than that, they act as if that's like what you're talking about. Like you're acting like the school came and got you.
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Exactly. Like
it's not like we're going through all these groups saying, "Hey, tweak that word bubble. Hey, you here in this group, do this." Like, and them motherfuckers came and got them. All them motherfuckers came to us.
Right. Exactly.
And they're made to understand when they come in. You have to agree to this statement that says photos posted within the group are all open to critique. You can't post a photo and then act surprised when somebody wants to say something about it, because that's what the group is there for.
Right. That shit's crazy. I'm not gonna go join a KKK group and get mad when I'm called a nigger. Like, you know what I mean? Like what I'm gonna do? Fight to change the rules? Like, I mean,
right? Exactly. Which goes back to
we've experienced that. We've experienced that so many times. Somebody who will come in a group, they'll be in a group 5 minutes, and they already trying to get on a soapbox and change the rules. Like, motherfucker, you just got here. You don't even know what's going on. What are you doing?
It's like, first of all, you aren't entitled to a CEO position automatically. It's like
on a board and shit. Well, I think this needs to change. No, we think we need to change your membership status.
Sorry. Wow. Let us talk to you outside the group. Just close the door and shit. Fuck out of here.
Holy shit, So yeah, it was those cats, and it was also this fella. Darius had a post up on his. I don't even know what the post was about. You know what? I think he asked why more of his friends aren't in the A.C.B.A group or something. He had a post up. He
asked, any of my friends on my friends list who take toy photography who aren't in A.C.B.A, I just want to know, like, basically why. What's driving you away, or what's keeping you away, or whatever.
Let me tell you what this motherfucker did. And this is somebody who apparently is a repeat customer. And they purchase things and I've noticed that a lot too. A lot of people that purchase products from us and buy our shit and frequent the Instagram and this and that, they still always have some crazy shit to say, but they always buy it.
Or starting their own groups,
It's nuts. So anyway, I don't give a fuck. This guy, he pissed me off to a level that I don't normally get pissed off, but he crossed the line. This fella's name is Joey Viscarando, V-I-Z as in zebra, C-A-R-R-O-N-D-O. He's got a picture of just his the top of his brow, his eyes and his brows on Facebook. If you want to hit him up on Facebook, right? So he sends me he puts a message. He starts going on a rant on Darius's post. Yo, if you know me, you know that I don't post on my timeline. I don't really look at other people's timelines. I don't get into using Facebook how most people use Facebook. I don't tell you about my kids going to school. I don't tell you I'm taking a shit every 5 minutes. I don't do that. I don't use Facebook in that way. I'm pretty private when it comes to my private life. I get upset with my girl all the time about certain shit that she may share online or this or that, Snapchat this and that. Yo, I don't like that shit. Yo, it took me a long time to even want to even get on the internet in any way, shape, or form. Again, originally I'm a street motherfucker, and a street person. We don't operate like that. Everything we do is in the shadows, is secret. You understand? So it took me a long time to get out of that shell and to be, you know, chatting with people online and sharing my address for people to send me shit. And it's like, yo, I'm cautious, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I am, right? So I don't fuck with Facebook in that way. I don't care what you putting on your timeline. If you my real friend, I could call you up. I don't gotta look at Facebook to know what the fuck is going on in your life, all right?
True that.
So the only reason that I know what was going on Darius's timeline is because my man GB hit me up and was like, yo, Boog, you should look at this. This dude is talking crazy on Darius's post. So I go over there, I look at it. He's saying all of these wild things. A.C.B.A. Shits on artists. They don't profit share. They make money off of the backs of other people's artists, and they don't share money with these people and this and that. He's going on and on like he's a fucking board member, like he lives in the fucking house with me and he knows what's going on. I don't know this motherfucker. I never met him, and if he didn't tell me that he purchased shit from us, then I wouldn't know anything. But he has no way that he could be speaking on any of this because he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, it's nuts. So I go on a post and immediately I say, what the fuck are you talking about? That was the first thing that I said. He's like, I don't even remember what he says, but he said something to the effect of, you could say this shit to me in person at New York Comic Con. Let's see if you say it again if you see me and blah, blah, blah. I said, say no more. End of discussion. I'm not about to get into a threat fight with you over the internet. No. That's not my style. Again, that's not how I operate. I ended the conversation. As far as I was concerned, that was the end of the conversation. 5 minutes later, I get a phone call on my phone, and it's this motherfucker calling my phone.
What?
So, it's this motherfucker calling my phone. He says, yo, this is Joey such and such, whatever. I said, how the fuck did you get my number? He's like, well, your information is public through the through the who's who in the domain, whatever. I'm like, motherfucker, did I invite you to call me? Did I tell you to call me up so we could talk? You said some shit that I thought was out of pocket. I said, conversation over. I had nothing else to say to you. What gives you the right that you could call my phone right now? Like, who the fuck do you think I am? Who the fuck do you think you are? He goes on to say, yo, I did 10 years in jail, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God.
I went the fuck off on this dude. I said, I don't give a fuck what jail you been in, where you been. I went the fuck off. I went nuts in here. Luckily, I was home alone. You know, my daughter wasn't home. Like, I went fucking nuts on this dude. You understand? Of course, once that happened, he's all of a sudden, he's the most peaceful guy on earth. And
Oh
he
my
just wanted
goodness.
to give me tips on the business and this and that. After he did that, after he wasn't the toughest person in New York City anymore, that completely turned me off. First you tough, now when you get met with the same type of toughness, now you a pussycat. all respect lost. That's it. I really don't got nothing more to say. He went on and was still talking. I let him say his piece. I let him say whatever he had to say. He went on to say, I always purchase stuff from you. You should just be more out in the open and blah, blah, blah. If I would have known that it was you, I wouldn't have said. No, you shouldn't have said that shit to begin with, because you shouldn't be approaching people you don't know on fucking line the way that you did. So the moral of the story is, you are going to see me at Comic-Con probably. You probably are going to see me, and we're going to finish the conversation when I see you. You need to be careful what you say on the line, online, how you move. You can't do this shit. You a grown up. Yo, nothing that you say nothing that you say in person, nothing that you say period is gonna scare me. Nothing is going to shake me. Nothing is going to get me frazzled. Nothing. Nothing. So you need to know that I'm a fucking rock, and nothing that you say is going to make me feel no type of way or make me change whatever my position is. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, yo, speak about what you know what the fuck you talking about, and don't disrespect me. You are going to have to face the consequences of disrespecting me. I'm telling you. It's not, I'm not Superman. I'm not the toughest man in America. None of that. I'm a man. Respect me. I respect you. That's it. So Joey, my man, continue to. Yeah.
Sorry.
I got to put these people on blast, man. I got to, because it's like I'm always quiet too. I've been quiet through the whole thing with the fucking dreadnoughts and all of these shit. Like, I haven't said nothing about these guys and all the crazy disrespectful shit they say. Really, honestly and truly, I just be waiting for the day that I could see some of these people in person. Truly and honestly, it's not even about beating them up or nothing like that. It's about approaching them as a man and being like, yo, listen, we face to face, man to man. What's up? Really serious, you know? I stay quiet. I try to stay quiet. I keep my cool until it's a opportune moment to see these people and look them in the eye.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't care how ignorant it sounds. That's what I be wanting to do. I be wanting to trade hands. Like, yeah. That's where it put me right at. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, I don't care any A.C.B.A. cat, especially like a real A.C.B.A. cat. I'm fighting with a motherfucker. Like, for real. That's how I grew up. You lead together, you know what I'm saying? You come back together. That's just what it is. So, I mean,
yo, I'm not.
I'm fighting. I'm telling
again. I've been on both sides of everything, man. I handed out enough ass whoopings, and I done got my ass whipped before too. It is what it is. So I know that is real, and I'm not afraid to get hit. I'm not afraid to, like a motherfucker that ain't never been touched. They'll talk crazy. You never been slapped. You never been stabbed, shot, nothing like that. You'll be talking like you the toughest motherfucker in the world till somebody touch you, and you know that is real. I found out that it was real very early on in life, so I've been prepared. You understand? So I know what it is.
Try not to, in real life though, man. You get to the con and shit, you get to, getting into one of these dudes, man. Real talk, try not to put your hands on them, because they ain't gonna do nothing but try to send you to jail. That's all. Something. Then you have some stupid ass write an art about Boog Nice the thug.
Right. And I said that too. That's another thing. That's what they want.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a positive dude overall. Again, I'm saying all of this. I'm a positive dude. I'm in a positive space in my life. But really, what it boils down to, there is some underlying racism and this and that, and yo, this is real shit. This is real shit. I gotta lay it out, and I just gotta be real with it. Certain white folks don't want to see a black man doing something positive or doing something even within this. This is not typical of an urban black person to be within this genre, within this, the collecting and all. It's just not, and that's why it's so important to me to kind of change the face of collectors and for people that look like me to be comfortable in doing this and to not be stereotyped as the thug or as the vagrant or whatever the case may be. It's important for me to break that stereotype and to break that mold and to bring more people together. But there are certain white folks who are intimidated by that, and they feel a certain type of way about that. And you see it on these anonymous boards and this and that. I'll be a nigger. I'll be this. I'll be that. I remember I was going back and forth with one dude on what's that site, Fabio? I don't know if it was Reddit or I guess it was Reddit. Is Reddit is anonymous, right? Everything on there is anonymous, right?
Can be.
I think 4chan is like that too, isn't it?
Yeah,
no, you're thinking of 4chan.
All right, so maybe it was 4chan.
Yeah, Reddit's good to us. We have a good presence there.
All right, so maybe it was 4chan, but I'm going back and forth. Yo, I read above college level. I know how to write. I know how to communicate. I went to very good schools throughout the time that I've been in school. I had some college. I didn't finish college. I got out of college early so I could make money. I always been a hustler. Always been about making my money, but I always been book smart. I know how to read and write. I know how to write an essay, a sentence. I know how to communicate with people with words. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can do that. So I'm going back and forth with this dude on 4chan. He tells me, you trying your best to not sound black. Like, yo, what type of shit? What the fuck? He's
Wait
like,
a minute.
I know you're black. I know you're black. And you're going, I'm like, so it's that shit. It's racist motherfuckers. And you guys should know this. Look at this whole Trump election. Look at this whole shit. Look at all of these bigots and these racists that come out of the woodwork. America is still very much racist. They still very much,
It's never stopped.
It
never
is
stopped.
what it is. So, you get that too. It's a lot of those folks that just don't want to see me do my thing simply because of the color of my skin as well. But guess what, bitch? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna be here. And I'm gonna be here. My big black balls is gonna be here in your face. It is what it is. You're not gonna stop me from doing this. You're not gonna stop the movement. We're gonna continue to keep doing this. We're gonna continue to keep crushing display art. We're gonna be here. So feel it. Respect me. I respect you. That's what it is. You guys gotta stop. You gotta stop this, man. You gotta stop this. And another thing is like, yo, I am open to chop it up and talk to anybody. I get so many messages per day. I respond to all my messages. I talk to people all day long. There is a kid in fucking Peru or Puerto Rico or some shit that messages me every day. His English is not the greatest, but I'll chop it up with him. He be talking about nothing. He be talking about a whole bunch of nothing, but I fucks with him. I chop it up with him. I chop it up with anybody. I'll chop it up with you about bullshit. So you could hit me up and chop it up with me about some shit that's real. If you feel that I've disrespected you or I did something to you or I said some shit that was out of pocket, out of whatever, you could hit me up and you could be like, yo, Boog, this is what it is. I will talk to you. I will resolve anything with you. I'm not one to just be on some shit like fuck him and fuck. Nah, I'm not like that. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to anybody. You can always message me if you feel some type of way about something that I said or if you misinterpreted something that I did or said. Nah, man, I'm not like that. I'm approachable. You can approach me. You can talk to me. I will talk to you about anything. And 9 times out of 10, I will resolve anything with you. I don't want it to be no problem with nobody. You understand? And I understand everybody's not going to like me or like what we doing or whatever the case may be, but you're going to fucking respect me. That's what it's going to be, though. You're going to fucking respect me.
And I don't understand why anyone can't. I mean, but like you said, there are some individuals that just really don't like seeing a successful black man, and that's what it really does come down to in many aspects.
And yo, I don't be on Front Street with my shit. I don't be on Front Street with my shit. I don't complain about shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like, please believe that we doing all right. You understand? Like, we doing pretty damn well. So obviously something is working. Obviously A.C.B.A. is moving in the right direction because I'm very busy with this. I'm more busy with this than I am with my 9-to-5 job. So obviously things are going well. Obviously we're doing something right. So, hey,
Hey, you know what? On that note, that would be a really good time to mention all the things that are going well, like on the web shop and summer shots and all that stuff, just to kind of change the pace.
So yeah, let's change pace. Listen, right now on Instagram,
I wanted to just cut in just really quick. There were a few things that I wanted to just point out in regards to some of the artists that are part of the group that aren't. I'm echoing for somebody. I don't know who. But anyway, basically, in regards to the artists that are creating for your brand and them not being financially compensated or what have you, to just stray away from that even, they've gotten so much more presence because of A.C.B.A. It's acted as a platform for them to actually showcase their creativity. So I don't understand why the financial thing is even being brought up, especially on someone else's timeline on Facebook.
I mean, that's
But
a good point. Something I wanted to mention too, actually, but I'll go when you're done.
yeah, but that didn't that strikes something that was just fundamentally wrong. Considering that a lot of these people that are now doing, say, like toy reviews or something, and are now being sent action figures from, or being sent action figures that they normally would have just purchased, but they're just being sent it for free because hey, we're a big fan of your photography on this A.C.B.A. thing. So it's like they're profiting. It's just that they aren't being paid for it from the actual company, but they're still being able to use it as a platform to promote themselves. And I think that that's awesome. I mean, does a gallery necessarily pay an artist to have the artist's work, put in the gallery? No, they wait for buyers to come in. They wait for buyers to come in and purchase that artwork. So it does have that sort of flavor to it. And honestly, the rise of A.C.B.A. is more so akin to the rise of hip hop. I've been a huge hip hop fan my entire life.
Analogy. Go ahead, man.
Yeah,
I've made that analogy myself before.
yeah. It's very much so like hip hop. It's like you guys are taking something that the normal the normal audience already consumes. They already buy the action figures. Same way that people during the late 70s were purchasing records. It's just that you guys are discovering that beat break right now, where you're actually able to use that same product in a very creative manner. It's akin to when DJs first, discovered beat breaks, and then they were like, oh, you know what, we can start looping this by playing, double records of the same record, and then having the beat break on this side of the turntable, and then on the other side we're gonna loop it, so it's just an infinite loop. That's creativity. That's the same thing that's happening in A.C.B.A. Look at the four elements of hip hop. You have MCing, DJing, breakdancing, graffiti. All of that can be seen in A.C.B.A.
That's right. All of these different type of artists are converging in this one place. You have people that were never really into collecting figures before, but they could paint or they could sculpt or something like that, and realizing that they could apply those techniques and those skills to making display art, and vice versa. Somebody who was just a collector like myself, who had no formal training with photography or anything like that, and I picked up so much from the group, from other people who are professional photographers. I mean, literally all of these different types of people converging in this one place to create something new. That the analogy to hip hop is fucking spot on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful for anybody who's artistic and just enjoys art. It's great. And I hate when people say, it's art. You're not supposed to. No, you are. That's the reason that you have fucking art schools and you have art teachers, because they're gonna tell you the fucking right way to do shit and the wrong way to do shit.
Just because it's art doesn't mean there's no technicality involved.
Right.
There's still objective elements that can be regarded good or bad.
Technique,
well executed or badly executed, however you want to put it.
It's the same shit. It's the same shit. Somebody drawing a comic book and shit, and we all love Todd McFarlane, and he's one of the best artists and shit. But he drew some crazy weird anatomy shit that was just not right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's the same reason we praise artists like Scotty Young for his art style, because that's an art style. But it's one thing to praise an artist for his knowledge of anatomy. If you can praise somebody for that, you can make fun of somebody like Rob Liefeld for always cutting off feet or having giant-ass thighs or pouches everywhere,
Yeah.
And it's
I want to just say this. My thing is this. When you get to the point to where you don't say action figure photography and you say A.C.B.A., you gotta let that sink in somewhere. You know what I mean? It's not like we came out and put some shit in some juice and told people, and brainwashed anybody. I mean, it's just to the point now where people just say it, man, like A.C.B.A. Even with other groups, you hear people say, "Hey, man, well, your A.C.B.A. is what? Never heard of her." Yes, you have. That's something about it. That it bothers you so that you can't get away from it. Like you just for real.
They'll never get away.
I mean, you see what the dude said. Your group is neat and all, but you're a bad person. Like it's that type of shit. Like you can't deny the success and the formula that we have here and what we've been doing. And if it wasn't for fucking A.C.B.A., a lot of shit that's going on wouldn't be going on. I don't give a fuck what you think, or if you think I'm on some big-headed shit or whatever. But first off, Marvel Legends came about and put us into this new age. Then A.C.B.A came about and jump started it, and we've been pretty much riding off of each other's wave since Marvel Legends came about, and really putting display art on the map and making it popular. Like all of this shit that's happening, all of these extra figures that are coming out, all of these effect parts, all of that shit is happening because display art is popular, because it's popular.
Absolutely.
But you know what's crazy? Like when I first came over here when I first came to A.C.B.A, when you guys were just doing it on video or whatever, and I didn't fuck with the video, I was just doing the pictures and shit. But I mean, it got to the point to where I just didn't even go nowhere else. Like
Right.
fuck all the other groups, because I mean, I was always doing display art on some form. I mean, it's what I did with my figures. But I'm like, well, fuck it. Here it is. These dudes do it all day. I do it all day. Fuck it. I'm where I need to be at. And then once we started doing it the way we started doing it, and taking it a little more serious and shit got more serious. That's just what it is.
Yep.
I mean, if people don't want to take it serious, I mean, it's not, nobody cares. And don't. I mean, nobody's saying that you're a bad person or that your art is bad or whatever else it is because you don't want to do it the way we're telling you to do it, or the way that, not even we're telling you to do it, the way that it is that we do it. I mean, but God damn it, just stay out the group, man. That's just, I know that's bothering me right now. I know we pretty much passed that, but that's just what's like really bothering me when I read all of these like posts and everything. Is always somebody really upset that they join a group that's about something, and then I don't know. I don't understand the basis
It's
of the
like
argument.
they applied for the membership and they're given the guidelines at the get-go before they're even able to like progress in the group. And they essentially sign their name on the contract, and then they're upset when the contract is what it is. It's like that's fundamentally stupid. Like we just have to call it what it is. It's stupid. Yeah, it's Franken people. It's these crazy sort of like inbred mouth breathing knuckle draggers that sort of try and like I don't know. I just really don't understand it. I
They're a
really don't.
different demographic. We appeal to a different demographic than them, and that's fine. The one thing I wanted to mention is that, as for as much shit as people want to talk who don't really know how the group operates, and for even some people who have had a less than positive experience and went off to start their own thing, of which there are many, of other little offshoot things. The one thing that remains fact is that nobody is providing opportunity for artists like A.C.B.A does. Like nobody's providing all these cash and prizes and trophies and accolades and like features that actually mean something. A page to yourself, even on an Instagram post, or just in general, just building a positive relationship with the brand because it helps boost you as an artist. And like nobody else is doing that. So certainly some people do, like, it's all over the place. All the weekly Instagram challenges. Every single group has one of those things, but nobody's providing much other than a little feature that you might have to share with 4 to 9 other people.
Right.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what Fabio is saying, in regards to giving artists opportunity, don't think that it just extends to the display artists. Look at people like Dave Castle. Look at people like Al Figures. They now have a platform to where they're able to express their creativity and their talents and supply other artists with the supplies that they need in order to make their shots better.
People
So it's like
that like essentially we created a whole new market, a total untapped market with unlimited potential of making money. Like, these people that you just mentioned are also making money off of their craft. Al Figures is making money. That diorama that he just sent to me recently cost money. I paid top dollar for that diorama because I love display art so much that I'm going to put money into Al's pocket to give me the best tools that I can have to produce the best display art. That's what it is. These people are making their own money based on this niche market that we've created here. Like, yo, you got to give credit where credit is due as far as that goes. Like,
Right.
And it's crazy.
People jump
Coming
down your
back to that though,
before people jump down your throat. Hang on one sec. Before people jump down your throat and say like, "Oh, you're just trying to monetize the toy community and shit," like that would be, I would say, the uneducated way of saying that. It's like you need to have. There's a phrase I like to use that if you enjoy a hobby enough, there's going to be a point where you're going to have to graduate just from being a spectator, and you're going to want to actually have a stake in this hobby and like have it fuel itself, basically, you know. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to, you know, a lot of people on Instagram do that. They make custom barrels or custom, I don't know, comics or arcade machines or whatever it may be. How are those people not doing the exact same thing we're doing? What we're doing is giving people a platform with an already established fan base that you can market your product to. If you were to, you know, like Dave Castle, who just partners with us on the web shop, who's going to be selling his stuff there. Like, that's good for him because he has the built-in audience of people who are into A.C.B.A, who are really
quick,
into display art.
let me just interject one point with the Dave Castle thing. The Dave Castle thing is small, but it's big in the same way too, because the reason that he's partnering with us and putting his stuff through the shop is because he's cutting out the fucking middleman. He's not paying eBay fees on that stuff, and the money is going directly to him. And whatever money goes to A.C.B.A, it's a fraction of the cost that he would be paying to eBay. So that's the other thing. Like, you know, we figuring out ways to get this money and get it directly to the artists and get it directly in people's pockets on top of that. So come on.
If you hate the business hustle aspect of it, then it's because you didn't think of it first, or
That's what you gotta be, because a lot of shit we just need in order to have an awesome collecting experience. It's a lot of shit you need that you're just not going to be able to go and buy. You're not going to walk into the store and just buy a diorama, barrels, all type of stupid ass shit. You're just not going to be able to buy this shit. And the fact is that, and I'm just going to call it out as it is, ADD, fucking, what's the other group, the fucking Dreadnoughts, any of them bitches, they not, who the fuck is going to go, what do they do for buying anything? Like, somebody really gives a fuck about what it is. 400 members, they really going to inspire you to do some shit? Get the fuck out of here, man. That shit ain't moving, man. That motherfuckers come and see shit. They see shit done right and say, you know what? I want to do that. I want that. That's right. That's just what it is.
That without this or that or some element that's making what we have special, and you're not gonna be able to do it. So what you could do is just be cool and just accept it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do anything else really at the end of the day. We already put it together here. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like
right. 400 members. We don't need fuck you inspiring to do anything. Like, the fuck out of here, man.
Well, it is what it is, man. You know, and yeah, our membership is also you know, people like Jesse Falcon and Dave Vonner and the guys at the Foosh, and, like, you know, people that's in the industry as well. They may not comment as much or post anything, but they're there and they're looking to the community that is A.C.B.A for everything that's popping and everything that's hot and everything that's moving right now. You better believe that. That's what it is. You understand?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go. No, I'm good.
Oh, okay, but there was another perfect example of the benefits of being a display artist in A.C.B.A. Mike Odom commented, and he was like, thanks to A.C.B.A, I've been featured in an art show, and I've done photo shoots thanks to his toy photography.
Right.
And he wouldn't have had access to that had it not been for this group. So this is providing a platform where people are actually able to showcase their talents in a very, very creative way. And when I see these other groups, you know, trying to say disparaging things, it's like, like I said, they're just angry that they didn't corner the market first, or that they aren't creative enough to think of their own idea. I've dealt with this. I basically saw everyone using Google Images, and I thought that every single comic book blog that I've ever seen was absolute fucking just trash, because the images look really grainy and look really terrible. So I had to think to myself, you know, what am I going to do that would be different from these guys if I was going to, you know, create a comic book blog. At the time, I was running a Tumblr, and that had 60,000 followers before I ended up getting hacked. But that's another long-ass story. But essentially, I just said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to just create a comic book blog that focuses on my actual collection. So people aren't seeing these grainy, reposted Google images all the damn time. They're actually able to see what's, you know, unique to my collection. They can see the imperfections of my comic book if I'm just doing a regular scan, or I can increase the contrast or the exposure in Photoshop so they aren't able to see those little imperfections. But it's like when I'm scanning my work, or when I'm scanning my comic books, it brings me into this more immersive experience opposed to just reposting what someone else already posted. It just gives, and it brings in a lot more. I would just say that it has more depth, and it just looks better. But and I'm not trying to say that what I'm doing is in any regards equivalent to what A.C.B.A. is doing, because posting comic book scans wasn't completely new. A.C.B.A. is completely new. There isn't another group that's doing it like you guys. You guys are actually able to provide a platform where people are able to get their work seen and where they're able to move into higher positions later on in life because of it. A lot of the people that are working now in A.C.B.A., I know for a fact that there are certain customizers that have been contacted by certain like toy groups, not toy groups, but like action figure like creators essentially. They're companies. Thank you. I don't know why I was like missing the word, but basically it's like they're able to use their work in A.C.B.A. say as like a customizer, and showcasing their skills in regards to how they tool certain action figures and their certain their sculpting talents. That's literally something that goes into your portfolio. As a writer, your portfolio matters the most because that's what people see. That's your work. A.C.B.A. is giving a lot of these people, regardless if they're diorama makers, if they're head casters, if they're toy photographers, or if they're toy customizers. That's all going into your portfolio. You can use that later on in life. Just saying.
Definitely. So it is what it is, man. I feel like I needed to get that rant out. I needed to say that.
Oh, yeah.
Again. I've been very, very quiet. I haven't said too much of anything about all of this shit that's been going on. But people, they test me. But we could start taking some questions from the.
Yeah. While we start waiting for those questions to come in, is there anyone who didn't get to share a haul that maybe just popped into the show that wants to maybe share something fun they got this week?
What you got, Pharaoh?
Pancho.
Oh,
I don't know why.
I'm not even looking at the screen. I didn't know Pancho was here. What's up, Pete?
What's up?
What you got this week?
Let's see.
You log in any more minutes into Paragon, Pancho?
God, no, I actually deleted that shit this morning. Freedom some space. Some much needed space. I didn't pick up much this week. I did finally get that 3-pack with the Civil War Spidey, Cap, and Iron Man. So pretty excited about that.
They look good. What do you like the battle damage deco on it? I think it looks decent.
It's all right. I mean, like, it's as good as what I thought a 3-pack of figures for $60 would look like, I guess. I mean, it's all right. I mean, like, I'll do I'll probably take a dry brush to it or something. But
the key thing is the Tony Stark head for sure.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
Dude, there was just to interject. There was a returned version of it at my local local Target, and it literally just had everything else was fine, but it was what's that guy's called? Craven. Basically, someone put a Craven head where the Tony Stark head was. I was like, why would you do that? Like, why would you fucking do that? And he returned it. I was like, what? You probably could have just kept the head and then just returned the set if that's the only thing that
really
you
like
wanted.
just a fuck you to do it. Whatever.
I was so confused.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I got those 4-inch Mega Man figures in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really dig them. They're so great, man. They're phenomenal. Really, really cool stuff. I like them just as much as the D-Arts one. And it's pretty sad to see that line go, the D-Arts line of Mega Man figures.
The D-Arts one was nice, man. It had some nice accessories, and having a rush and everything was cool.
It was very nice. So hopefully they continue with more than what they've unveiled. Like I think all that's left for that line is for the 4-inch line is let's see, there's it is power armor from 7, I think, like 2 versions of that power armor, then Cutman is in there. So and then after that I don't think any also to to interject, and I've been in the thing for a while. I've been listening for a while. But just like what you said earlier, like a lot of people through A.C.B.A have gotten opportunities in other things. I was actually sent the that Saiyan space pod made by that independent company, Dragon Rise, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just sent that out to me, and it should be getting here on the 13th, so on Tuesday.
Oh, that's
And
what I'm excited.
So,
to see how that is.
yeah, very excited about that. It looks phenomenal. It looks really great.
Wait, there was two, right? There was that company, and then who did the other one?
Figurize, the people that made the kits, are putting out the other one.
I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize a lot of people jumping on those Figurize DVDs.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I haven't gotten a chance to mess with one, but
which one's
I like.
Which one has like the panel on it? Is that the one you're getting, or is that the other one?
I think
it was.
I think that might be the other one.
Than the other one.
It's like different for both. Like I know the one I'm getting, like it's really dope because it has like LEDs in it, like working LEDs.
Okay,
and that's really cool. And it has details in the interior as well. But I think the Figurize one has more. But I'm not sure if the detail in the Figurize one is sculpted or if it's just a sticker. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's the one you're talking about that I was thinking of that has the.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's dope. I think that's really it. I got the DC Icons Joker. I can't remember if I spoke about that. So that's pretty cool. I think I did talk about that last week though.
That's the one with the
hat removable on that.
What's up?
Is that the one with
hat removable on that?
Yeah, that's the hat.
Yeah, but it's not removable though, is it?
No, I don't. No. Pharaoh has it too, right? You got it right, Pharaoh.
Yeah, so
he has it.
Yeah, I think the whole reason by it not being removable or whatever, I think they're still doing the comic specific characters. So it's not just like the Joker. If I'm not mistaken, it's somebody's Joker.
Oh, okay.
It's always
Is it the Killing Joke Joker?
No, it's not. Definitely not.
That's another line that just put out Killing Joke Joker, I believe.
If I'm not mistaken,
that Joker is
you're right.
Pharaoh.
Yeah,
the Killing Joke Joker is from the Arkham Knight line. They just did that Joker for whatever reason.
Right,
But,
it's an alternate costume. They did a classic Harley Quinn too.
Oh.
But the DC Icons, yeah, they're pretty much specific for certain shit or whatever. So
Yeah, it's basically like the artist-specific line.
I think it's an 80s. It's an 80s Joker. That's why his legs are all skinny and he's taller.
Yeah, I think that's actually based off of Jim Apato's design for the character. Pretty sure.
You would know. I swear I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know fucking comic.
It is actually. I just looked at it with the hat and everything. Yeah, that's definitely him. Jim Aparo, another great artist. Did a lot of. He was the artist for the entire Death in the Family arc. So definitely one of my favorites.
All right, let's move into this Q&A. Let's cue some A's, you guys.
Well, wait, did Pharaoh say what he got?
Oh.
Got what?
What did he get for the week?
Oh, this week? Nothing really but a bunch of Gundam. I don't know. I don't even know the names of all of them. I bought maybe 2 every day for like the last 4 days.
Well, that's enough about that. We can probably move on now.
You say what?
I saw you were getting heavy into those Gundams. That's pretty dope.
I mean, you know what it is that I'm new to the whole Gundam thing, and I started off with some of the older kits, and some of them, I don't know, they're just like ass, some of the older ones. So I was going to get out of the 1 in 1/44 scale, and then they came out with these RG kits, which are pretty much like they're 1 in 1/44 scale, which is about 5 inches, I want to say, but they have the detail and the decals and everything like a high grade or master grade rather.
Yeah,
so they
those look really cool.
Yeah, they look a lot nicer, so I've been buying those. The only thing about it, they're like $30 each.
Yeah, they'll set you back, man.
Almost definitely. Oh, and I got that the Wolverine head. I got that.
You get that in? How you like it? What's the quality like on that?
Man, that shit is dude. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Even the cigar, man. Like when it's like a small little pop when you pop it into his mouth and everything. That ain't coming out, man. I mean, it's
nice. Okay.
It definitely the way he showed it is exactly what you got.
All right, that's what's up. I got it coming too. I think mine might be here tomorrow or Tuesday. But yeah, I wanted to know the quality. You know what's funny? I see how Homeboy is moving and I want to see him win. I just wanted to see. I just wanted to know that the quality was there and that it was good. And if
Yeah,
so, I want to help him get on the right direction with those and
he's
shit.
doing it. I mean, no disrespect to anybody listen, but he's moving like how they do heroin, man.
Right.
It's a hit and run. Like he
Yeah.
opens the shop, you get all the money you can
Yeah.
right then. He close it up. Like fuck
Yeah.
it, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt.
I said, damn. I see how you doing it though, man.
I was cracking up when he sent me the track and the shit. I'm like, yo, he really doing this shit on the low. I hit him up on Instagram and I'm like, yo, my man, like, I'm like, your Instagram gonna start popping once these heads get out there and people start painting it and put it in displays and shit. Take your Instagram off private. Start following back some of these people that's following you and shit. Like your shit is about to blow up if these shits are quality. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to steer him in the right direction and shit. But like, yeah, he moving like it's crack or some shit. No
Right.
question.
Well, I definitely tell anybody out there in the community, his work is quality, man. When I got the fucking head in, and it's crazy because he shipped the head in a box. So like a fucking, I don't know, man, like this maybe the size of an eyeglass case.
Oh wow.
But you talk about this little bitty head in the middle of the box, taped to the box, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But
He gotta get that packaging and all that right, and yeah, he'll find his way.
yeah, but it was. I mean, it's the for 18. What is it? $16? I think I paid for that damn thing.
I think it was $12.
But well, with the 4 shipping and shit.
Okay.
What I think, I don't know. Whatever I paid for it, man, I definitely felt good about buying it. Once I got it in, I said, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, they look just like Clint Eastwood, maybe almost.
Hmm.
So it's a really good
definitely a nice scope, man. You popped it on your Wolverine already? The proportions,
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, because it peeped us out. What you could do with the head is it pops on secure, but it has enough room to where you can pretty much make the neck go forward and backwards with it as well, not just up and down.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Right, that head force when you have him crouching forward or whatever. I mean, it's not the like most fierce head sculpt, but it's definitely Logan, man. I mean, dude did his fucking thing. I don't think Hasbro will ever top that head.
No doubt. And once you get the right person to paint it, that shit gonna really come to life,
Oh man, I sent my shit out already to somebody. It's up to them to, if they listen, they want to show people pictures or they want to let them know who I sent it to, they can. But I sent my shit out to somebody that's gonna do the damn thing with it, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I got to figure out who I'm gonna send mine to. I'm definitely not gonna fuck it up and try to paint it myself. That's for sure.
Which head was this?
Let me see if I could bring it up on the screen here.
Yeah, link would be good. I know which one you guys are talking about, but I don't know where to get it.
Find it in PNP because my sharing is not working properly right now.
I posted a picture of it on my wall. I mean, ain't the best picture, but I posted a picture of it for David Walton or whatever. If one of y'all want to go to my wall.
I think Sal might have got it in PNP. A couple people in PNP got it though. Actually, I'm lying. Who was the first person that got it? And I said I got it too. Somebody posted it. It was a few days back.
John Martinez.
Who?
John Martinez, I think, was the first person to post a picture of it that he had it.
You might be right. Yeah.
It's when I was at Family Dollar when he posted it. I said, shit. As soon as I got home, mine was there too. I said, okay, yeah. I want to see. I want to see what these people are gonna do about the paint, though. Yeah.
You shared it to Walton's feed?
You say what? No. It's on my profile, but it says I don't know. I had a picture of the head. Say yeah, I just got it or some shit or whatever. And then once you see that, if you go into the comments, I got it on his body.
Is that it right there?
No, that's why I said it was Peppy.
What?
Oh, you can't. Oh, Fabio, you can't go through my profile like that because you ain't my friend.
What are you talking about? Of course I'm your friend. Oh wait, no, I'm not.
Oh man, I got a no bitch policy. You ain't on there.
Yeah, man. I forgot about the no bitch policy. Damn.
Look at that. See how I say add friend? See, look at that.
Man, no, I got in right before you changed that no bitch policy, so I didn't get the memo,
I don't know. I'm gonna have to screen share it. I can't do it.
I saw somebody with it. I don't know who, man.
Check PNP and search John Paul Martinez's name. He posted it. Just search him on the sidebar.
Oh, I'll search him all right. Frisk him good.
There it is, right there at the top.
You stupid.
John, like John?
Yeah. John Paul Martinez.
I'm just gonna do Martinez. And then some CSI shit. Enhance.
That shit crazy. So much bullshit posted to this group. You probably never find.
Let's give people a little peek into the weird shit that happens in PNP.
Uh-oh. Ooh, I like that Punisher.
Look at this. So not contained, you guys.
He hates A.C.B.A. I'm going to purposely post pictures without them being contained, without backdrops.
Well, they got that 3A Dread coming out. Or 3-0.
You know what? That shit looks nice, man. I'm going to get that shit. That shit right there that Eric Aguilar posted is fucking nice, too. You see how he hooked the blank body with the clothes and shit and the Cholo bike and shit?
We've been trying to get you to buy them blank bodies for the longest.
I got a few.
Oh, well, put some clothes on them bitches.
I don't know where y'all getting these clothes from.
Well, I used the jersey for one of those basketball figures, and the shorts came from one of those old school. Remember when DC, Echo, and all them had those like figures with magnets under their feet or whatever?
Mm.
Like, they came with like sewer tops that they could stand on and shit. I found a couple of those in Marshalls when they weren't selling that well, and I went ahead and
All right, let's start taking some questions while I'm looking for this bullshit here.
Somebody, BD just tagged me in a post on PNP. Look at Jason Clendenin's post. He's got it painted.
That's what I'm talking about. BD for the win. BD always be there. He be listening.
Yeah, he definitely do.
He's holding it down, man.
Yeah, it looks like Clendenin painted himself. It seems like.
I say.
And that shit looks pretty good. But I want people to see I want people to see it without the paint though.
Oh, this one. Oh, it's from Sculptor Shelf. There we go, everybody.
Yeah, so let's see it.
That's all I wanted to know. Because this is the problem I have with PNP, dude. Everyone's like posting screenshots of like the NECA Turtle bootlegs are like $5 each with like $10 shipping, whatever. And nobody wants to post a goddamn link.
Post a picture of it unpainted. I mean, I'm not knocking dude paint job.
Yeah, you got to see it unpainted though, so you can really see the scope.
Oh, you're talking about the one with the cigar in the mouth and everything?
Right, it has a little porthole for the cigar. I don't think he's posted like a shot of it or anything.
That thing's sick. I saw that on.
You know what? I don't know. I think Clendenin did all right on this, but the hair looks blue though. Why the fuck does shit look blue?
It looks blue because in certain comics, like that's literally what I know for a fact. Jim Lee.
Jim Lee does hella blue.
Yeah, there's pretty much blue in every like character that has like black feature, like any sort of feature that's black. There's like a little tint of blue.
Too much blue on this shit though. Wolverine's
yeah. Well, Jim Lee drew it intentionally with a lot of blue in his hair. Jim Lee did that, and then who was the guy that the Frank Miller 4-issue series? I forgot who did the
There we go.
It was Frank Miller. What am I talking about? It was written by Chris Claremont and then drawn by Frank Miller, but that 4-issue series. But yeah.
Yeah, he's pumping them out. What do you got, about 30 heads right there?
Good.
50 right here.
You said 50?
Yeah, it was like 50 because it's probably like what, 12. I mean that we can see. It's at least 24 right here. You know, just right here.
He made some money real quick. He just made like $700-800 on this batch that he sent out. So more power to him. That's what's up.
Hey man.
And
then did he sculpt this himself?
Listen, that's the shit that we talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? This particular person who's casting, making these heads and shit, he might not be able to pose a figure worth of shit or take a picture worth of shit, but he just made $700-800 in 1 week based off of the collecting community, motherfucker. Like,
and all he's got to do is ship now.
You see that? Most of them were 3D casts, and he had one real cast, which is right there. But I'm telling you, if you ordered that head and you haven't gotten it, that's what you get. It's not a variation of that or nothing stupid. You're getting that head.
Yeah, he's got my man Jeremy Lee just hit me up, and he's got homeboys on Instagram. Like I said, I did hit him up on Instagram and try to give him a little insight and just be like, yo, listen, get ready because I know personally like 10 people in the A.C.B.A community that have gotten this. And once those pictures start popping up, your shit's going to start popping. Your Instagram's going to start popping. So, you know, like, be prepared for that and get ready to put out this next batch and make this money. Like, yo, I don't hate. I want to see anybody make money within this, you know, within this market and shit. Like, I love it. It just made me happy to say that he just made $800 in 1 week doing this shit. You understand? Like that shit.
But
That
anybody
shit,
can do it if you connect through the right channels and everything, man. I mean, people got. I mean, some things even like take reviews, man. When I first started really collecting hard, and I just really got on the internet paying attention to shit, I went to not Facebook, to fucking YouTube and watch reviews on figures, see if they could do the splits, because that was a big thing for me. If figure couldn't do the splits, I didn't want it. And all the reviewers were just standing there twisting the fucking figure around in a circle. They wasn't doing anything with it or whatever. And then it took a few key reviewers to really get in there and show a motherfucker what's what. And that's where they got their following. It's the same thing with A.C.B.A, man. I mean, motherfuckers be making shit look good. So there's no way you wouldn't want a lot of shit. I mean, I go to some other groups, man, and nothing that they have makes me want it at all. You know what I mean? Like nothing.
Whoa. Gotta do an infinite loop there. That was crazy.
yeah, my screen share is acting stupid. I'm gonna link you to his Instagram so you could screen share it for a second.
Whoa.
What other questions we got though?
All right, we're moving on. Let's actually hit these goddamn questions.
Yeah, you guys can ask anything too. Let's have a little fun today. If it's not even like collector related and you just want to ask some random funny shit, it's all good. Whatever. I'll answer anything, right?
Well, somebody asked which trilogy, that's how you say that. Trilogy. Which trilogy we prefer, the Dark Knight trilogy or Captain America trilogy?
Dark Knight. Sorry. I enjoy Winter Soldier and Civil War more and more as I go along, but I mean, just rewatching The Dark Knight, I mean, it's not really Batman, but it is Batman. It's so damn good. It really is.
I think that the Winter okay, hands down, like you said, Winter Soldier, Civil War, but I watched The Dark Knight as well, and I mean, it started to really make sense to me. When I first watched the trilogy, I liked the first movie was okay. I loved the second movie, and the third one I just didn't like at all. But now that I've sat down and I've watched them all together, yeah, I mean, they're all right. You know, I like them.
It's like I would say that Dark Knight alone pretty much is the only reason why I would say that the Nolan trilogy is better than the Russo trilogy of well, not Russo trilogy, but just the Captain America trilogy. Is probably because there's so much that you can still get out of the Dark Knight. You can analyze Civil War, and you can analyze Winter Soldier, and you can break it down and to its key components where it's a political thriller. Fundamental disagreements between characters, yada yada yada. It's very much so a surface area that gets covered in those two films. Whereas with Dark Knight, it's hitting on many different levels that even now, as I'm thinking about it, it's like even those levels can be broken down and analyzed. Just the philosophical sort of approach of chaos from the Joker, where it's senseless chaos, but it's ordered chaos. It's interesting. It lends itself to a deeper discussion than just, oh, this is a really good film.
Wait, what was the question? The Dark Knight trilogy or the Captain America?
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, I
just go for it.
I would have to go with the Captain America trilogy, only on the fact that I liked two of the movies better. Like I said before, the first Dark Knight was okay. I mean, the first Batman movie was okay.
Yeah.
But the second movie was really good, and the third one was kind of watch them together, we stomach them. It makes more sense. But I think that the Winter Soldier was such a good fucking movie to me, man. It was so many elements of the Winter Soldier, and it wasn't even like something that was deep, man. It was just, I don't know, it was a lot of cool shit in the Winter Soldier. Like the Nick Fury scene. I think the Nick Fury scene was one of the coolest scenes in the fucking movie, man.
Funny, I came on TV the other day, and it was on right when the Nick Fury scene was starting and shit. That was the only thing I watched and saw and shit. I'm like, yo, this shit was intense. It was action packed. It was like, it was good action. It was good choreography on the fights. It was just, it's a fucking good movie, man.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you, if they had the Dark Knight trilogy in Ben Affleck's costume and actually had him do more detective work, people wouldn't even like shudder in order to say like, wow, this is literally the greatest thing that's ever
If
happened.
that were the case, yeah, but that wasn't the case. So Winter
Yeah.
Soldier might have to take that
Yeah, I
one.
mean,
yeah. I was
I
like, yeah,
love,
I was like, Winter Soldier. I tell the people to this day, man. At first, my favorite. I love Batman. I hate to not be able to say a Batman movie is my favorite movie, but I'm telling you, that fucking Winter Soldier, man, even better than Civil War, in my opinion. I watched that
oh
movie.
yeah,
It was so much
Yeah.
shit that was going on. I was like, yeah,
I think
this,
that Winter Soldier is definitely better than Civil War. And to this day, Winter Soldier is still my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe
I would
film,
say
easily.
that maybe the opening sequence of Civil War, that opening sequence might be just a little bit better than the
Oh
opening
yeah,
sequence
I
of
think so.
Winter Soldier. But
oh, I mean, they were just on the boat or whatever. You're right, but at least
Yeah,
we got to see. I mean, I think what the brothers did that was really nice with it is that okay, opening sequence to the Winter Soldier, we got to see Batroc. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's you running the Batroc. We're not going to keep Batroc, but we're going to at least give him to. Same thing with Crossbones.
I
We ain't
love
gonna
it.
keep him around, but you get to
yeah,
at least you get to see him. Like,
yeah.
so that was really awesome of it. And then I think that they do chase scenes really well. It almost reminds you of the people who make the Matrix, as far as chase scenes go.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Forgot the
mean,
name of those.
They definitely got the comic book action. They got that down pat, man.
Oh yeah,
There's
they
no question.
pace action so well, the Russos. But the thing that I would say that the Russos are most strong with is definitely, I mean, they really know how to handle a cast of characters. I mean, when
That's
you
true. That's true.
see,
That's
yeah, like when you see them interacting at, just like these really, mundane locations, like, oh, we're inside of, Stark Tower, or oh, we're inside of the Quinjet, and you just see them interacting and hearing them trade dialogue. It's like, wow, a lot of these scenes, like many directors would have, put a bunch of cuts, but they just kind
true.
of let them flow, and so it's
You
like
know
you're
what it
able to
is, too?
actually, huh?
They give everybody a good, sufficient amount of screen time too.
Oh yeah,
Everybody gets their moments and their shine. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
you know, obviously the premier characters and the popular characters get the most screen time, but you're not. I never feel like I felt like I was gypped with anybody's screen time and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's had
definitely.
their moments and
look at
they're
the
good.
actors they have. Look at
Huh?
look at their cast. I mean, they have
Yeah.
a great bunch of fucking actors. Everybody in front of that fucking camera can fucking act. Every single one of them.
Very
No doubt.
true.
So
Very
it's
true.
like it was just win all around, and they know how to use it. Unlike that goof that made the fucking Avengers, I felt the Avengers both movies were severely lacking in my opinion. I was happy to
Well,
see it on screen.
Avengers 1 was fucking epic as fuck. You can't
I
front on
No,
that.
it
I
wasn't, man.
love that film.
It was
You
epic
gotta be
because
out in the
you
theater.
got to see all of those people. You got to see that team on screen for the first time ever.
Oh yeah, that's
And,
definitely there, but I feel
and
as though that their interactions are very genuine. Maybe it's because I'm used to Joss Whedon, because I knew about him before the Avengers and stuff. I was watching Firefly like day one, so it's like
yeah,
I'm more accustomed to that, and Buffy as well. So
I wasn't a fan of. I didn't really fuck with Buffy and that other shit, but I've said this many, many times. But Josh Whedon on Astonishing X-Men is one of the best things ever.
oh,
Fucking, I don't care what.
easily. If they, oh my God, okay, you're speaking to me right now. If they did that for like the new X-Men, because they're gonna be getting rid of, Hugh Jackman. He can't play Wolverine forever. If they just like literally toss out continuity altogether, erase all those films, give Joss Whedon the chance to direct an X-Men film for Fox, and then adapt Astonishing X-Men, that would be
Fuck,
fucking incredible.
Astonishing X-Men is yo, it's everything, man. The fucking dialogue, the
John
fucking
Cassidy's artwork is fucking brilliant. I love
I
John
will,
Cassidy.
I will. You know what? I'm with you guys. I haven't even read it, but I'm with you guys because I just watched the X-Men Apocalypse yet last night. I just watched it for the first time ever, and
Terrible
God
film.
damn, that movie was horrible.
It was
I
terrible.
mean, like, you look for certain things, like, okay, but I'm like, even the things, the nods, even when like Wolverine and his Weapon X shit, that didn't even. I don't know, man. I
It was
just
just there to appease a very minor fan base. It's like it was just thrown in. It was shoehorned in for no real reason. It's like if they wanted to focus on young X-Men, don't include Wolverine in the film.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
simple.
They
And
can't do
honestly,
that because everybody wants to see Wolverine.
but you know what? That's what's holding them back. It really is because they're still having to include Hugh Jackman in all these films because he's the one that puts the asses in the seats. But it's like honestly, if he wasn't there, they would have recasted everyone already.
But they just have to stop going back. Like I
That's
don't
the
know why they
thing.
keep
We need it in the present. We need it in the
backtrack
present.
on shit. Like just leave it alone and just fuck it. Drop people off in the middle of whatever's going on now. Like fuck
Yeah.
it.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
a lot of these people, you realize, like with my son, he mostly knows X-Men from cartoons and shit like that, not comics. So, I mean, a lot of the people, I have to assume, a lot of the people who act like they read comics don't. I don't read X-Men comics. I won't lie to you, but I know a lot of X-Men stuff I know, but some of it I don't. But the point that I'm making is that I think if you dropped people off in the middle of the film, the only people who are going to complain are major comic heads, maybe. I mean, people wouldn't mind. People will watch. It's the same shit, they do with Transformers. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys like Transformer movies, but I think they all suck.
Yeah,
They're fucking terrible.
bad.
Right.
They're
I can watch
terrible.
this shit at home on a Sunday night with a beer or some shit, but I'm not paying in the theater for no
But
trip.
you know what? My son absolutely loves them. He swears by the movie Transformers. And it's crazy because he has nothing's nostalgic about it for him. He doesn't have any connection with any of the 84 cars. He can't watch that shit. I put that shit on, man. He
Yeah.
didn't want to see that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's his Transformer. So he's with that, with Bumblebee being a sports car and being super cool now. I'm like, we watched it. Bumblebee was a nerd.
Yeah.
he wouldn't get no
Bumblebee was
action.
us. That was the thing. Bumblebee was the audience.
Right. Come on, Spike. I can't fight, but we can hang out.
Well, I like the Captain America trilogy better.
Well, I mean,
That's
like I
because
said,
Chris
everyone's
Evans.
entitled to it. I consistently revisit the Dark Knight. I don't even consider it to be the best Batman film. I still believe that theatrically, not just confined to live action, but theatrically, Mask of the Phantasm is still my favorite comic book film ever.
Oh, that's a good one.
The way in which Bruce Timm and Paul Dini reimagined Batman's origin to this day is still incredible to me. I'm a huge
You know what?
fan
I
of
gotta
the film.
check that out again. I haven't watched it since I was a kid, since when it came out. So I
It is
gotta watch it.
literally Batman. I can't say that for many things. Even some of the comics that come out are not Batman. Where you get the detective, where you get the torment, and you really understand the sort of Byzantine psychiatry that's going on with Batman and how he's really quite literally the reason why all of this dysfunction is happening in Gotham.
Yeah, yeah.
He's there.
He's just
I don't know. I
about
like Justice League Batman.
I mean, Justice League and then Justice League Unlimited, like the
Yeah,
Bruce Timm.
I like.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I could give praise to Bruce Timm and Paul Dini all day. I feel as though that they, in more ways than one, influenced everything that followed. I mean, it really the change really occurred when Frank Miller was able to get on Batman and do Batman Year One, and then before that Dark Knight Returns. That's when the real shift happened. But in terms of post 80s and into the 90s, and then going into the 2000s, I think that was the Bruce Timm and Paul Dini show. Like they quite literally mapped out the future of Batman and took all of the best attributes that were introduced in the comics and put it in their show, and it never was dull for once. I can't think of a bad episode of Batman the Animated Series. I really can't.
Yeah, they were all pretty good, man. Even the ones where it was slow moving, they were all really good.
Oh,
And they
goodness.
set a move for you that you could really get into.
That was like,
were-
Batman. That was like one thing that me and my pops always connected on and shit. Like it wasn't too many things that like we both pretty much fuck with, but like after school, 4:00 or 4:30, whatever time that shit came on, we was down. We was watching that shit, he and I together every fucking day. Batman anime series, man. I remember this. I was probably in like junior high school during this time, but that was some shit that we watched faithfully together every day.
It's like to put it in perspective. Go for it.
Oh, I was about to say something that I know it's newer, whatever. Well, it was later times, but the cartoon, The Batman. I didn't
Oh,
think that.
the WB one.
Yeah, but listen, but I think he was a very interesting take on Batman, man. I think he was a younger Batman, and he made a lot of mistakes being a younger Batman. I don't think people gave it the credit that it was due.
Oh yeah, I like that one too. I very much so. I got that same impression. It's like this is Bruce Wayne where he hasn't lost to Robin yet. He hasn't been dealt a huge defeat. He's still very much so optimistic. Gives
Right.
criminals the benefit of the doubt. Isn't as well trained as a more a more veteran Batman would be. But yeah, I could see how you would get that. That's what I got from it too. It still does not hold a candle to what Batman the Animated Series is, or even the
Hell,
new Batman Adventures. But I mean, it was still enjoyable though. I definitely agree. But the thing that is very long-standing, and it's not common in that industry and in that field, but there is a reason why Batman the Animated Series is one of the few cartoons that have received Emmys. And it wasn't in a cartoon category; it was in television in general. And then even comics adapted what they were doing in the show and then made it
Yeah,
canonized.
yeah, definitely. Like Harley.
Harley and then even Mr. Freeze's origin, they changed
right.
it entirely. So yeah, and then Joel Schumacher for I mean we can laugh at Batman and Robin all day and Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze, but that origin story is now canon, and they got that from Bruce Timm and Paul Dini.
Most definitely.
Yeah, the voice acting was fucking top fucking notch, man.
It's like every single time that you read Batman, whose voice do you hear? Kevin
Yeah,
Conroy.
definitely. Yep. That's
You know,
that's why it was top notch too.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I liked it because it reminded me of like one of those, even though I've never heard one, but I've seen people listen to one, those old radio station mysteries or radio station
Yeah.
adventures, whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's just how it seemed to me or whatever. It was just, I don't know.
It was heavily influenced by noir crime dramas that would appear on radio shows. It's very much so. I mean, that's Batman in a nutshell.
that was one of the things that was great about it and shit was like it seemed like it was set in like the 30s and shit, but it was like a lot of modern
Exactly.
happening though. Like
Exactly. They were able to make Gotham its own character while still being in the modern world. And then I mean, there's literally so many episodes I can just like name off at the top of my head, like the Mr. Freeze one where you realize the reason why he's tripped into villainy and everything is because he's trying to save his wife. There was the Gray Ghost where they actually have Adam West show up as this
The Gray Ghost.
dude. That episode is so fucking good. Like Batman the Animated Series is quite literally it's like a cultural phenomenon in itself. It's able to take all of the best attributes about noir fiction, and then sort of shoehorn that into this Batman world and make it great. It's just really great.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that part of that whole environment for the animated series, do you think that was kind of taken a bit from the Fletcher cartoon?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even Bruce
I
Timm
was,
and
I
Paul
was
Dini.
there's a lot of similarities with that being in
Oh
the
yeah,
30s, the
and,
robots.
and for the people in the chat that aren't familiar of what Pharaoh is talking about, I forgot was it Joel Fletcher?
Joel
Whatever.
Fletcher sounds about right. I don't remember. I just always remember Fletcher, man.
Yeah, the Fletcher cartoons for Superman that came out during I believe like the 40s, literally revolutionized cartooning itself. At the time, when you're watching like Bugs Bunny, he's not doing a lot of anatomically correct movements. They do what's called a two shot where it's like they basically break down the animation into they just draw two portions of the character moving, and then it sort of like drags. There's actually a really good video documentary about the Fletcher cartoons. I believe that the guy's name was like Captain Canuck or something like that with K's. I'm not sure, but it's on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. But he has a really good YouTube channel. But basically, cartooning changed entirely after the Fletcher cartoons. And very much so the settings that are introduced in that cartoon are very much so harkened back to in Batman the Animated Series. And Bruce Timm and Paul Dini in interviews have even said that, that was the thing that inspired them to actually go into cartooning and to go into, creating animated series and whatnot. So it's directly influenced by it.
All right, whatever questions we got down there.
All right, moving on.
I know that Avenger
There was
Basti. Oh, go for it.
Someone's talking about they heard rumors from a local comic shop about a Marvel Legends Civil War 4-pack coming next month, which is supposed to be Falcon, War Machine, and another two. I think I've seen pictures of it floating around.
It's out
Yeah.
overseas.
It's a UK exclusive, right?
Is it? Well,
Yeah.
it would make sense because they don't have Walmart, but I think they still have Asda.
Well, here's the difference in the figures. The Falcon will not come with what the fuck, Red Wing. So I don't know. They might come with the Red Wing broken down onto like that could fit onto his backpack, because without that, it's just a big space there. So you might get, but the actual Red Wing, it won't come with that. None of the weapons for War Machine at all. You won't get any of the baton or any of that shit at all either.
So what are you supposed to put in there?
I don't know. And you don't get any of the blast effects or you know the flying effects for Iron Man either.
It's really just a way for you to get everything at once, I guess.
It's something. It's really something aimed towards if you got a child that collected that shit, and it keeps you from having to go all over the place, buy that disco Iron Man so you can get the War Machine, trying to hunt down an exclusive figure. You could buy the 4-pack and give them the core of the Civil War right there.
Yeah, too bad that it doesn't have, all of the nice stuff that comes with the exclusives that we have access to. But the UK always gets shafted with exclusives.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, sometimes they get their comeuppance too. Like,
they get better shit.
Version of the Hulkbuster, though, that's for sure.
Oh, goodness. Like, ours looks so flat compared to the one that they got.
Yeah, I'm trying to get one of those Lokis, too. That Loki looks pretty decent because I missed out on the original. But that's the expensive one.
And if anyone from Hasbro is in this chat, probably not. But if they are, give us a fucking classic Loki already. I'm so tired of it. I'm going insane. Yeah. I'm going insane knowing that there isn't a classic version of that character. Yeah. I'm going insane.
Yeah, we definitely need that. No question.
Yeah, the jester-looking Loki with the chain stripped down his chest.
Yellow and gold spandex. Like, just put it on the Bucky Cap body. I don't care. Just give it to us.
That's perfect what you just said. When you said put it on the Bucky Cap body. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They should probably make him a little taller. They should probably put it on that new Buck that they're about to put out.
Yeah, the Spider UK body.
Yeah.
Even that could work, but just like
he's not that big though. Loki was really he's not that like buff.
Yeah, but that's the same size as the Bucky Cap.
It's like same size in terms of height, but I think that what Pharaoh is saying is that in regards to his chest, it's like Loki's not like very built.
Gotcha.
He's pretty scrawny, especially like early Loki. That was like the Walt Simonson stuff. Like that Loki is pretty small. Jack Kirby's Loki is pretty small too.
All right. Do we plan on revisiting the A.C.B.A. logo or intro, Boog?
The logo? No, I don't think so. I think the logo is fine. Intro, like for my channel, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll record something else. I guess maybe a variation or something, but. I highly doubt that the logo will change at this point, though.
I mean, you'd have to remake all the trophies and stuff too.
Yeah, I don't see. The logo is special to me because I guess most people don't know, but my mom actually came up with the design for the logo for the most part. Like she literally hand sketched it and was like, well, this should have something to do with like comic book bubbles, and she literally like sketched it on like a napkin or some shit and showed me, and then I got with Ty, and Ty brought it to life and cleaned it up and made it made it look better and shit. So
in regards to logo notoriety, it's like I feel as though that if you change the logo, especially when it's like your brand is still expanding. It's not to the level where it's like if you look at it, you're automatically going to know what the product is. I feel as though that right now it's definitely important for the logo to stay the same.
No doubt.
Yeah, we don't need to be like other groups with like 16 different logos and each one of them.
You don't even know what's what. Every member's making their own logo and shit. Like it don't even make no sense.
But I love the
all
logo.
of them are like templates. Like like a Photoshop or Illustrator templates that you just change the words to.
It's not even like an actual legit graphic designer who has done anything. It's
And
really.
if it is, then they're kind of basing it on very, cliche logos of like, I don't know.
It's
I don't
okay.
even
We can
wanna
say
say
that
it.
they're shit. They're shit. They're shit. They're shit. They're shit. They're shit.
No, they're just, they're generic. It is what it is.
Basic ass bitches.
See,
Okay.
you see the red and yellow of our logo, and you immediately can tell what it is.
Yep.
It's like the golden arches, man.
I was just gonna say. I'm like it's akin to McDonald's right now. Same color scheme, and I think that's important. I mean,
That's why you use reds and yellows because it stimulates hunger.
oh yeah, there we go. A hunger for display art.
That's why Boog names all his videos after main course and appetizer and
Ooh.
dessert.
Question.
He's working that psychological aspect. Everyone is manipulated into liking this shit.
Either that or I'm just
worked.
either that or I'm just secretly a fat person. I got the urges of a fat person.
All right. Which wave is better, the Hobgoblin or Space Knight Venom wave?
Which one gave us Daredevil? Hobgoblin. So Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Which one gave us Pizza Spidey? Hobgoblin. So Hobgoblin.
Yeah, Hobgoblin's probably got the edge, but Space Venom does have Miles and Ultimate Peter Parker and shit, though.
I mean, for Miles, it's
and Silk,
Oh yeah.
Spider Bitch and whatever. Like, it's they're
But Spider-Man waves don't lose.
yeah, they
For
don't
real.
overall. They're close though, but I would say Hobgoblin probably has a little bit of the edge though.
Yeah,
I
even
would
though I
say
didn't
that.
build Hobgoblin either. I would say that both of those waves are an equally weak build-a-figure or
Right.
equally undesirable.
I think that Space Venom is better, just because we
Okay,
actually have
wait. Let's see this. Even though both the Build-A-Figures were weak, at least they gave you an ultimate Hobgoblin because you do have an ultimate Spider-Man figure, so you do have some things to play off of in that realm.
Right.
Well, wait, is that Ultimate Hobgoblin, or is that just the other Hobgoblin in the 616?
Hobgoblin.
Well, it's both Hobgoblins. And then a classic Electro, or quote-unquote classic Electro. I'm saying classic in the way Dwight says classic. A classic Electro, which is something I didn't already have in my collection, so that I was happy to get that.
That was not a classic Electro at all. God
I
damn
would
it.
give the edge to Hobgoblin, maybe, just because like Pizza Spidey is just one of the definitive Marvel Legends of this new launch, and I think that this Ultimate Spidey is kind of built off of that. So we wouldn't have this Ultimate Spidey if we didn't have the pizza. So I would give the edge to the Hobgoblin wave. But again, I didn't complete both waves. I got like 2 figures from each wave, so I can't really speak.
And that's not Marvel, or that's not an Ultimate Hobgoblin, by the way. I'm just letting you know.
It's modern Hobgoblin.
The more modern.
With a classic head.
Yeah, it's crap.
Yeah.
But not to like stray away from what we're talking about. I want to shout out Fabio's husband, Randy, for coming through with the shredder, for finally getting us that shredder he showed us like 11 years ago.
8 years ago, but yeah.
Well, whatever. Look at him. 8 years ago.
Like defend neck until death. Defend.
Whatever it is.
Only when Pharaoh's speaking.
It's just, I was really surprised because when I first seen I don't know how I didn't recognize what it was. I said, here we go, video game shit again. Fuck this shit. Now look again. I said, goddamn. He's really got to find a way to get these things out. So I give him a shout out for that.
And he's making it available online. I don't know if you got your pre-order, but this one isn't just
sold out.
It's great. It's sold out already, yeah. But if you were on the ball, you could have gotten it.
Like it don't matter. Boog going to Comic-Con, he'd get it.
Boog, did you pre-order a set online too, though?
No, I didn't really. You know what? I didn't realize that they were supposed to go along with the old NECA ones until you mentioned it tonight. And it's funny because I was talking to my man Dave BX the other day, and he said that, and it still didn't even register with me. Well, what he said was, I didn't pre-order them. I don't have the original NECA Turtles, and it didn't even register with me why he was saying that and shit. And now I'm just realizing. So I don't know.
They sell them at the booth.
Yeah, they'll sell them at the booth. So maybe I'll grab one. I know.
Yeah, this online sale was for like ship to home.
It was a couple people. I know Cappy definitely wants one, so I'll definitely be grabbing one for Cappy, and then I'll see how I feel when I get there.
Grab one for Pharaoh too, motherfucker.
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll yeah, I don't mind grabbing it for a few of the homies and shit. But I guess when I see them in person, I'll make the final decision and shit.
You'll buy them because you got the NECA Turtles.
Yeah, I got the NECA Turtles, so you know.
Do you have the original or the bootlegs?
I got the original shits. You know what's funny was they had them up in my comic shop in Midtown Comics, and this is during a time where I was buying comic books every week, faithfully every Wednesday and shit. And I passed up on them like maybe like once or twice or whatever, and I'm like, you know what, should I get these? And I kept looking at them, and then finally I bought the last one week when I was buying comics and shit. And I bought the last one that was on the shelf. I got it when that shit was regular retail price, $39.99 or whatever it was.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. I had the original set. I got the original set for I think like $20, $25 loose from somebody complete, and then I sold all that shit, and then I ended up buying some bootlegs.
And I was happy as fuck when I opened it. I'm like, damn, these shits is nice. I'm so fucking happy I didn't pass on these. But yeah, very nice, very nice.
Moving on.
Even after all of this time, the only issue that I've had with them is Leonardo's sheaths. One of them like came off the back of his shell and shit. I had to glue it back on. But other than that, they've held up pretty damn well.
Oh, here's an interesting question. Have you seen the Marvel Legends bootlegs that are floating around? I think Al Chang posted some links to them.
I see a lot of people buying them shits.
Yeah, they look decent. I think the Vision's probably the best looking one of them, but
They're fucking terrible. Don't waste your money. Oh
they're
my
more
god.
they're more like
Those
Legends,
are huge.
or they're more
Those
like
things
select
big as
sections.
fuck. They big as fuck though.
Yeah, they're select scale for sure.
Because I definitely thought about getting the Vision and Hawkeye. Because I mean, it's the only way you're going to actually get those two figures in those uniforms for the movie right now. But shit, those damn things are like 9 inches tall.
They might be bigger than fucking.
They're out of scale with Select even.
I think the Vision was about the same height as the 4-pack Thor, Amazon 4-pack.
Ugh.
Which, yeah, it's a big fucking Thor. But,
Yeah,
you know, it's something you can
waste your
fudge a
money.
little bit. Yeah, I had the pre-order for the Vision, but I decided to cancel it because I'm just like, you know what, I really don't want to fuck with having a bootleg Marvel Legend in my collection. And I almost got the Hawkeye too, but at that point, actually, I canceled the Vision because they were only selling it in a 2-pack with Scarlet Witch, and I already had the regular Scarlet Witch. So I just decided to screw it all.
It just looks so damn tacky. I mean, I understand that you're able to finesse it, and hell, I mean, maybe there are some people out there that can like paint it up and make it look official and stuff, but the figures are just out of scale, and they just look terrible.
Yeah, they look
don't
cheap.
bother with them. Just wait, or I mean, just wait for either. I mean, because I don't collect movie figures. I think that they're all terrible from what Hasbro's done, and I'm tired of seeing the same Captain America repainted in like 3 different decos. It's stupid, but
I hate them. So.
yeah, like I don't like movie figures. I just don't. If they didn't include Build-A-Figure pieces, those they would not sell.
Well, I hate them from Hasbro.
Oh yeah.
Fuck with figures.
I feel so that if you're going to collect movie figures, just do SHF. Just wait for SHF.
I think that movie figures are all right, man. It depends on what movie it is. I mean, I like movies. I like watching TV. I like 80s movies, definitely. So, I mean, I don't mind Terminator, Predator, fucking Rambo. I mean, I'll buy those figures. As far as comic movie figures, it would have to be an import. I don't really domestic movie figures are just horrible.
Yeah.
Except for NECA did pretty good with their Keaton Batman and that Reeve Superman. I mean, I think that was kind of dope that they did those.
They look cool, but then you try and pose them and then they snap, and that makes me sad.
Oh, most definitely, man. I went through a couple of them before I got some that actually worked correctly and shit.
Yeah.
But,
How many Supermans did you break?
I broke one.
I broke 3.
What? Well, you were just trying at that point.
No,
Shit, man. Listen, this is the thing. When I buy an action figure, I should be able to open the figure and pose the figure. I shouldn't have to open the figure and then like just go and do all type of surgery on this fucking figure before I can move it. Like that's just crazy that I actually got to heat the figure up, boil it, freeze it, take it to McDonald's before I get this bitch to move. Like, and then here it is, the amount of money you paid for them. I think what they were like $20. Man, I paid an extra $10 or so, man. I got this Mayfix Batman over here. This joint is nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that figure is
Mayfix
amazing.
Batman. Phenomenal.
Shit's all over NECA figures, all over, just on their faces and feet and hands, and just,
And you know what? I think that because I haven't seen too many people get like QC issues with that figure, so that's making me a lot more like excited in terms of like their Star Wars releases later on, because I'm all in on Mayfix Star
it's a
Wars right now.
Superman. That Batman the first round of Dark Knight figures, that Batman was horrible QC. That
Yeah.
The second movie Spider-Man, horrible QC, and then that fucking Superman. Jesus Christ! I just
Yeah.
got to this before, and I was fucking around with it. I'm like, he's thick as fuck, man. Like his thigh, like shit, man. I'm like, this dude is thick as a motherfucker, man, for nothing. I'm like, shit. And I
It's just because
I don't like it. Like, you said what?
no, I was saying go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying. When Boog said he didn't like the figure, I'm like, that figure's all right. But I'm fucking around with. I'm like, maybe I don't like this figure. Like, just get this giraffe neck, and he can't. I'm like, I don't know. I'll just keep it on the strip. But they definitely would not get me to buy one unless they tweak it a lot for like the Justice League movie or something. Other than that, I'll just keep this one and just be like, fuck it.
A lot of import places, especially the thing that gets me thinking is PlayArts Kai's Superman looked like trash.
Oh
that
my
Man
god,
of Steel,
horrible.
that thing was awful. Which was interesting because like the General Zod and like the girl, they look great.
Pretty decent. Yeah, you're right.
But that Henry Cavill, he looked like just garbage. Just
You know what's crazy? PlayArts. This is the thing with PlayArts. They charge. They make you pay for their license, of course. So the figures are going up in price. But I'm telling you, the quality of a PlayArts figure has gone down so much.
Oh yeah.
Like seriously, I mean, even the paint apps, man, they smear. Like I was looking at the Batman from the movie, and they smeared like brown all over, like he was rolling around in shit. And I just said they give you these heavy capes that are split in half for you to. I don't know that. I just don't collect them anymore, man. I sold almost all of my PlayArts, and I just don't fuck around with them.
I need to sell my PlayArts.
It's really not a good line anymore. I can see why people jumped on originally, but it just doesn't look good to me.
I mean, especially when it started off at $40. I paid. No, what? They were cheaper than that actually because I paid $40 for my Dante at a comic shop, and they had already raised the price on it. And I paid $40 for that, and I think I bought Bayonetta around the same time. I got those figures for $40, and now those figures are going for $130 just retail. Now that's what PlayArts wants for them, whatever. Like,
yeah, it's unreal. Like at work, we'll get them in shipment, and they're like $100+ and I'm like, what the fuck?
Keep them bitches.
I mean,
my coworker bought them.
The only one that I was like even remotely like interested in like looking at even was just the Venom, just because like I like seeing like weird wacky designs for symbiotes, but that thing didn't pique my interest really.
Nah, man, not for the price point, man. If like I said, a lot of those PlayArts figures, if you could get them for around $65, it wouldn't be a bad deal. But no,
it's like, where are you going to display it? Like, it's pretty much at that point, you're just going to be putting him by himself or with other PlayArt stuff, and then just having him go against like miscellaneous people, like characters that aren't like specific to like one style. Like, if it's a Marvel Legends, it's depending on the character, it's going to look really really whack.
So you can't even get them in there with a Marvel Legends because you're talking about a figure that's like 10 inches tall.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand why people are, even bothering with that line anymore.
They use those click joints, like almost like revolver joints, and they don't stand well. So you have to use the wax stand that they give you that's just horrible. It's like the shit. This stand is just so fucking ugly, man. And that's the only way you're going to be able to display them. It just takes away from the display so much, man.
Yeah.
I think they're staying afloat because of the licenses they have on like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that.
Well, they buy them over in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. In Japan, those things actually are selling. Over here,
I would imagine so, yeah. I think they appeal a lot more to the Japanese market because, like, especially when they get these U.S. licenses, they put their own little twist on it. Like, all the Marvel stuff is not traditional Marvel stuff. It's like, what if the artist from Final Fantasy designed Batman or
Very much
Spider-Man
so.
and stuff like that?
It,
And
It's the
well, you
sim
know,
stuff.
they like to put armor on everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Definitely.
Now, to be fair, the Stormtrooper and the Darth Vader and the Boba Fett they put out look really, really cool.
They're
Darth
cool.
Maul
I love
was
them.
They look really good. My coworker the other week, we got a Hatsune Miku figure from that line, and he spent $130 on it. And I was like, man, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, well, I just really like Hatsune Miku. Also, don't tell my girl. And I was like, go buy the fucking figure.
You know what's crazy about it though is when I got the Flash, I'm like, this damn thing, he has on a whole entire suit of armor. How the fuck is he gonna run with this shit on?
Yeah.
He was armed the fuck up. I'm like,
That's-
Jesus
That's
Christ.
literally the same thing that I'm asking right now for the actual live-action Justice League Flash.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
Zack
under-
Snyder got the idea.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's a complete tool. You want to know what's really sad? Because, like, I don't know if you guys have been, like, keeping up with DC Rebirth, but spoiler alert, Dr. Manhattan is supposedly the entity that created the New 52. And,
Right.
yeah, so basically, I know I posted it on Twitter or whatever, but I was just like, man, Zack Snyder must be sitting down in the chair right now, realizing that he can now make Dr. Manhattan a Justice League villain. You know that he's sitting down and he's like, yeah, that'll be fucking cool. I fucking hate Zack Snyder.
I agree with you, man. Zack Snyder's a bitch. And that whole thing, I don't know how to feel about Dr. Manhattan exists. Well, okay, his
I hate it.
he exists in the past, present, and future at the same time, right?
Essentially, but he's more so talking about not his own existence, but how everything exists in past, present, and future. It's like it's all occurring simultaneously, and that pertains to what we are doing right now. That pertains to our actual lives. It's like I think the quote was, we view time as anything other than an intricately structured jewel, and we only focus on one facet at a time when the whole thing is in perspective, and we need to be focused on that.
That's kind of cool. That's not a bad concept.
Yeah, but it's like, I feel as though that by bringing the Watchmen universe into the main DC universe trivializes everything that Alan Moore did, because it was very much so like its own self-contained story.
Right.
It has a beginning, middle, and an end, and it leaves the end ambiguous because that's how Alan Moore leaves his work. Look at The Killing Joke. That's an ambiguous ending, even though Batman does kill the Joker.
Right.
But it's like it leaves it ambiguous because what the reader is supposed to then assume is that, because this journal, this Rorschach guy's journal, is now left in the hands of this really inexperienced reporter for this really shit tier newspaper that needs a big story in order to stay afloat. Of course he's going to use that as like some sort of a publishing thing. He uses it, exposes Adrian Veidt's big plan in order to basically woo the world into peace through deceit. So it's a commentary on how dysfunctional superheroes are if they were placed in a real world setting. And then for some reason, you have Jeff Johns, who's like, you know what? I feel as though that the reason why DC isn't doing well is because of the darker tones that were inspired by the deconstructive narratives that were introduced by the Frank Millers and the Alan Moores of the 80s comic industry. I feel as though that's the problem. So what we're going to do is that we're going to like shit on it by like incorporating it into the rest of our main universe, and like we're going to make Dr. Manhattan, who's like not good and not bad, he's just neutral. We're going to make him a fucking villain because the New 52 wasn't good, and I don't like Alan Moore. It's like I literally made a blog post about it. I fundamentally disagree with that on a foundation level, of Rebirth at a foundation level. It's so stupid. It's like, I'm trying to think, what would it be similar to? Where it's like, you just have something that's really good, and then you just put it into something that's not as good, and then you're expecting people to still enjoy it, even though it's like, this thing is very clearly not supposed to be mixed with this. It's like, I love pizza and ice cream. I'm not going to have pizza-flavored ice cream.
How much?
Yeah. But that shit pissed me off, though.
Any more questions down there? Getting close to the top of the hour.
Let's see.
Yeah, we got a
Fabio,
couple
are you looking?
there. Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay.
Let's see. Question, kind of. Anybody want to reach out to Articulated Icons and ask for either some regular citizens or the villains based on Streets of Rage or Maximum Carnage? About that. Well, first of all, Articulated Icons doesn't really do any stuff with, licensing. The whole thing about Articulated Icons is, they're kind of trying to make their own line of action figures. If you want stuff as far as like regular citizens, I'm sure they know about it already. We don't really have to like reach out to them about it. I'm sure they know, but any future project that they take on is going to base on how well this current one does. So if you want to see more stuff from them, go to the Foosh and put in a pre-order for some more ninjas or whatever.
Definitely. I need my ninjas.
Yeah, it's not that they don't like know that. Like we just be like shouting into a cacophony if we told them, "Hey, make some civilians." They know.
I just hope that
Obviously,
they don't give us like Vikings before like civilians though. I mean, I love Vikings as much as the next person, but
just whoever asked that question, I just lost your name, but go to the A.C.B.A. community channel and go check out the interview. It's got all your questions answered, including stuff that they're thinking about for the future.
was it them that said that they
like
were
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Well, yeah, we all like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Everybody's playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
We send niggas to the Shadow Realm for free.
Okay. Well, there's your answer, Kawaii Raccoon.
Yeah, I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I was into Yu-Gi-Oh when I was in middle school. I used to play, the cards and all that stuff.
Dude,
But,
the Yu-Gi-Oh memes are so dank.
yeah. You know what I really liked was Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series. That was amazing.
Oh
Poncho,
my god.
come on.
Anything abridged is great. Dragon Ball abridged is great.
Yeah.
Poncho tried to catch a white eyes blue. Was it
Blue eyes white dragon. You want to know what's funny? I entered this one. Sorry to just like make this super off topic, but I entered a Smash tournament like not too long ago, and one of the entrants' name was Blue Eyes White Privilege. That was the greatest name ever.
I remember I used to get into Smash tournaments all the time. Then my girl called me. We almost broke up.
Oh, what? Man, I would have just kept wave dashing with that Mars.
Pharaoh. Tournament than y'all having though.
Pharaoh, you dog. You're a dog, sir.
I would have just kept wave dashing, been like, bye.
You stupid. Smash on.
Wave dash out of that relationship.
Let's see.
Well, today's is 9/11. We didn't say shit about that.
Yeah, you as a New Yorker, you probably got some shit to say about it.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
I'll tell you this.
Tower 3 fell 2 hours after the initial plane crashes.
Boom.
On the day of 9/11, I was going to. I had a job interview that morning actually, and it was for this answering service. It was like the service had like a lot of big companies in the city that they answered for. They answered for the Uniform Firefighters Association, and they answered for the PBA, which is the Police Benevolent Association, and they answered for a lot of random like doctors and lawyers, and like they had a bunch of huge accounts in the city. It was a pretty good answering service, basically. I worked there for a long time. I learned a lot of shit. I learned a lot of shit about so many different things. Randomly, they actually answered for Nas's father too. Nas's father, his name is Uludara, and for whatever reason, he had an answering service. A lot of like random rich people had the service, and the service would take their message. It's some real old school shit, but I'm getting off topic. But I had an interview for that job that day, and of course, obviously their switchboard was probably going nuts, obviously that day and shit. And when I spoke to the supervisor, I wonder if she's still living. But Shirley, shout out to Shirley. If I don't even know how or why you would hear this, but Shirley was my dog, man. She used to get fucking drunk and like she used to just like drink and like come to work smelling all.
Hey, he took advantage of Shirley like a motherfucker.
Yo, this picture has the like most like typical like older like black lady that like like it was just like yo, she was fucking hilarious. But anyway, so I call in and I'm like, all of this shit's going on right now. I don't think I'm gonna make it. And she's like, yeah, baby, don't worry about it. Just come tomorrow. Come tomorrow. Don't worry about it today. So so yeah, that was the morning of 9/11, and I can remember that. I'll tell you this. I remember when the first tower fell, how I felt immediately at that point. Immediately at that moment, I felt that some bullshit was happening, and that couldn't have been real. That couldn't have, like, how did that happen? Like, I know my history about the towers. I know how they were built. I know how the structures, how structurally sound they were. And like, when that first tower fell, I immediately called bullshit. And when the second one fell, I called bullshit again. And from that day up until this day, I've always said it's bullshit. Not that it didn't happen. Shit happened. Like,
it was a demolition job. It's so plain to see.
But I absolutely believe that our government was asleep at the wheel, and that, like, if somebody high up in the government didn't have some play in it, then they let shit happen. Like, there's, I think we have no clue about what really happened and how crazy it actually probably was at high levels and shit. Like, I think to this day we don't know anything about what really occurred. I think the 9/11 Commission report was total bullshit.
There's a reason why majority of those reports are redacted.
Yeah.
But it's like even the thing is that we do have that information available to us. It's just that a lot of people just don't cover it, and a lot of news organizations are unfortunately censored, even though we have access to free speech. I work for a news organization that's local, so it's like I can speak to free speech and First Amendment rights. But there are public records that we actually have that anyone can view. Look at the insurance clause that was drafted up only 2 months before the towers fell.
Definitely. What's homeboy's name? Silverstein. He fucking caked up.
Yeah.
He hit the insurance company for a fucking lick, man. I tell you that. So yeah, I mean, there's certain things that you can look into, and like I'm a fucking New Yorker. I'm born and raised here. I know what it is. I know what it is when somebody's trying to fool you and trick you, and like I'm savvy. I'm on point. Like, as a New Yorker, you always looking for somebody to try to trick you and fool you and pick your pocket and do this and do that. So it makes you have a heightened sense of awareness for any type of bullshit. So when you see some shit that's bullshit, you immediately be like, that shit is bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, it doesn't require you to really think critically even. It's more so just look at how they fell. If you ram something into the top, why would it then crumble from the bottom? It doesn't make sense. Like, in terms of physics, it makes no sense. It's scientifically inaccurate.
Yeah, I keep saying that, like, we don't know. We just don't know shit. Like, even the planes hitting the building and shit, like, those dudes that they say that was flying the planes and shit like that, they couldn't fly those planes into a fucking building. A fucking experienced pilot with 7 million hours of flying couldn't do that shit. So,
and
common sense, man.
And then the explosions that the people that were actually survivors of the attacks, when it actually was occurring, they kept saying, "Oh, I hear explosions from below."
Explosions below.
This
is a building that's already been attacked once before. Basically everything that followed. I'm gonna tell you some real shit that followed. And this is fact. It's in your community. It's in every community. Immediately after 9/11, within 2 hours of the planes hitting the building, they was already making moves to go towards Afghanistan, and
exactly.
Then, at some point, eventually get to Iraq and whatever the case may be. I'm gonna tell you It was all about money. It was all about all of these private contracts and all of these private military institutions and all of that shit like that. But like Afghanistan, if you don't know, it's where a lot of they have a lot of poppy fields in Afghanistan. Poppy fields is how you make heroin, how you make dope. All right. Dope was something that was very prevalent in the urban areas in the 70s and whatever. Dope kind of took a back seat once the 80s came about and crack became prevalent and you know, impoverished communities and stuff like that. Once 9/11 happened and the U.S. invaded Afghanistan, you saw dope, you saw heroin make a huge comeback.
Yep.
In the streets and urban areas, and even not even in urban areas. It's something that's actually been affecting white communities and all different types of communities. And that's not by chance. It's not by mistake. It's because the CIA has been dealing drugs since forever. This is how the CIA moves and how they make money.
Before Reagan, they've been dealing with the cartels.
I tell you that even being in a smaller type, you know, I'm in Milwaukee, so we're a lot smaller than New York, and heroin has made a huge comeback.
No question about it.
Right. I mean, it was amphetamines and crack cocaine that pretty much was getting sold around here, and then heroin popped up, and just it was like to the point of like to explain it more. Here, pretty much, heroin was so like scarce that only a few people had it. They could really control how it was being sold. You know, certain times of the day, not selling it all day. And it's a way to like get all of your money or the most amount of money you can in a short amount of time without having to deal with a lot of heat.
Yep.
So it's a really effective way to sell it. But now you got every fucking idiot around with fucking packages of heroin. And all type of shit, man.
Heroin is one of the biggest money makers as far as drugs go. For one, because it's so lethal. It's so the user is so heavily dependent on that drug. Like you need that shit every morning when you wake up, like it's a cup of coffee. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to have that shit to survive. So like clockwork, every day, heroin addicts, they're going to be online for that shit. Like heroin is a serious drug. And it's probably the reason why you get the most time for heroin on top of that too, over any other fucking drug. They hit you with serious.
You know, now they're cutting it with something. I forget what the fuck they cutting that shit with, man. And it's pretty much killing motherfuckers, man. Like without hesitation. And a lot of the lower level drug dealers, they don't know, you know, because they're not the ones that's really cutting it. They're spiking it versus cutting it. So, you know, they're pretty much getting it, adding some procaine to it or some no-dos or something. But mid-level dealers are the ones that's pretty much cutting it. They're catching it, do a cut to it with this shit that they're cutting it with, man. It's killing people, man. I can't think of the name of the shit, man. But it's to the point now, man. It's dangerous for heroin dealers and users.
But yeah, the moral of the story is 9/11 is some shit to this day that the victims and families and whatever, they can't have closure. They can't have anything because the crime has not been solved. It has not been made public as to what actually happened, what went down. Immediately after the crime took place, they was fucking up the crime scene. They was hauling off the steel from the crime scene, and like, yo, they didn't treat it like a crime scene at all. So it's so many people that were criminally negligent in 9/11. Like it's unfathomable. Like it's out of this world and shit. Like it was a fucking it's just
chaotic from the outside, but it was very much so ordered from the inside. So yeah, 9/11.
And on that note, I would like to thank everybody in the live chat for joining us for the final episode of the A.C.B.A. podcast, because we're all just the government is pounding us. We're worried about toy companies being in the chat listening to us. No, dude, we're fucked. The government's here.
I mean,
Boog, liquidate those assets.
who is a CIA insert?
Oh,
Is it me?
like the fuck off. They're gonna have him on there as a terrorist type of shit.
The reason I'm now on this podcast is because I was sent here by the CIA. Sorry, guys, you're all dead.
We're done.
Hey, you're supposed to tell us that right off the bat, dude. That's entrapment.
Oh, I make the rules. I'm the government, bitch.
I feel bad for anybody who lost somebody, and there's 6 degrees of separation. Everybody in New York knows somebody that was directly affected by this shit. There's no question.
Very true.
You know what I'm
Very
saying?
true.
Like, it is what it is. I saw it firsthand. Like, even that day, I saw people coming up from, because the trains and shit had got shut down. I saw people coming up with all of the dust and shit on them. And that's another thing. Like, people forget about the people that died, even that are still dying now from inhaling all of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they said the air quality was fine down there and this and that, and it absolutely was not. And all of the people that were working down there were breathing in this shit. Nobody even knows what the fuck they were breathing in. Like, really, if you think about it, because, like, the buildings were pulverized to nothing, to dust. There was really no rubble. Like, there wasn't, like, when you see a traditional collapse and shit like that, there's usually survivors. There's people that be in the pockets of all of that shit that they'll find, and there'll be, a few miracle stories of somebody who survived the collapse or something like that. There was nothing. Everything was pulverized to dust, literally.
And it
Body
collapsed
parts,
from the bottom.
Everything. So, like, really, we don't know what happened. We don't know how that happened. What would make that happen? Like, there are theories out there for all different types of crazy shit. Some people think that a scalar weapon was used, and that's what pulverized the buildings and everything to dust. I don't know what happened, but I do know that it was dust, that there was not much rubble, and I do know that the people that were down there were inhaling that shit, whatever that was. Buildings, parts of the building, parts of people's bodies, all types of shit in that dust. They were breathing that shit in, and mad people died after the fact from cancer and from this and complications with their lungs and this and that. So, like, it wasn't just the people that died initially that jumped to their death, got burnt up in the fire or whatever, collapse and shit. Mad people died after the fact too,
and are still dying to this day, and not just by being exposed to all of the debris and whatnot, but just look at our presence in Iraq. Look at our presence in Afghanistan. It's all the militarization shit, man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
And remember those first responders actually are getting the short end of the stick these days because Congress has voted against funding a lot of the support networks that these guys need to get the medical care that they deserve after, being the first responders of 9/11, which is a huge deal. Like you said, a lot of these
Halliburton where the money went.
Disrespectful, man. It's so disrespectful. It's not even funny, man.
I mean, it's the same reason we talk about supporting the troops and the veterans and all that shit, and then we can't even fund the VA.
But you know what? It's America's pornographic obsession with this. It really is gone to the point where it has become pornography for me, where they seem so sexually charged by the term 9/11 and by the phrase "never forget." It really is disturbing that we fixate so much on this.
Wait, what word again?
On 9/11 and then never forget.
Okay, one more time. Just one more time.
I'm good. I'm not trying to get you off. But it's like we're always talking about, never forget the lives lost on that day. But it's like we don't
Congress
acknowledge the fact.
On a daily basis.
Exactly, but it's like it's not just America. That's the thing that I'm like so trying to dismantle. It's like we need to stop thinking of this as our country first. It's like, what did we do after the fact?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time on social networks sharing a bunch of bullshit and talking about a bunch of bullshit. I worked in the Empire State Building for a few years before I moved to another position where I work now. And one thing that I really enjoyed about working at the Empire State Building was crossing paths with a lot of different people from all over the world. Obviously, you have people from all over the world always visiting there, and they always want to ask you a bunch of questions and talk to you and shit. And that part of it was great. And one thing that I noticed is that the majority of people that I spoke to had no clue about how New Yorkers actually feel about 9/11 and how they think that most New Yorkers think that it was some bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I realized that the media is like on some bullshit.
They're painting a narrative.
Like, they got you motherfuckers duped like never before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you people, y'all believe everything that you see on the news and on TV and shit like that. You got to look to alternative news sources. You got to look beyond Fox 5 and Channel 4 and shit. And you got to get out there and you got to really research shit and look into shit. Don't believe anything that I fucking say. Go out there and do your own research then and start researching shit and looking into shit and looking at every single thing and question everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we so complacent and we so like fucking dumb. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's like if you cannot distinguish between the fact that this tragedy occurred in order to sway public opinion, in order to invade Iraq for its quote unquote resources, then I don't know what else to tell you. And it's like we said that, oh, it was, Afghanistan was behind it, but then we end up invading Iraq. But then we get another report that says that, oh, it might have been Iran, but we're still in Iraq. And then we go into Afghanistan simultaneously. It's just very strange. That's called your government's up to some shady shit.
No question about it. So
stay woke, people.
Stay woke.
Well, stay
away from that bitch Tommy Coyne or whatever the fuck her name is.
Oh, the Tam Tommy, whatever.
Just stay away from that. I'm telling you.
Tony.
Who's that?
The bitch from she's on Fox. She's not even a news source. She has a I don't know, what would you call it, man?
Like a YouTube show.
No, she's actually on.
Oh, she's on.
I think they feature her sometimes.
Clips online, but she has like an opinion show, basically. Like,
what opinion show? But dude, that chick, man, Jesus, she was the one that called Beyonce out over the Black Panther thing. It was like, you're
yeah.
drug.
Oh my goodness.
God, she is fucking annoying. Oh my God.
Speaking of that Beyonce thing, that's such a true thing because first of all, my girlfriend's mom is probably the whitest woman in America, and now she comes along and she's saying that the new Beyonce album Lemonade is too black for her. And I'm just like,
God.
that's kind of
too black. How does a black woman make an album that's too black?
Beyonce, because the whole thing is that Beyonce's music in the past has been very like approachable and accessible to like really anybody. It's the whole reason that SNL came out with that skit a little while ago that was like, her new album is like the reason that white people are suddenly finding out that Beyonce's black. Like all of a sudden people are realizing, oh shit, Beyonce's black.
Right.
It's scary to them.
Why are you saying that? It's crazy though. I don't think. I don't like to say white people because we have white people that we honestly were cool with or whatever. So I really don't want to put them into a basket.
It's just ignorant people.
But it's
happen to be white.
How a lot of white people just don't realize what the fuck they be saying.
Oh yeah.
Like oh, Beyonce. Well, I don't know what your aunt is or whoever you said she is. I don't know what she is. But
girlfriend's mom, but all right.
Beyonce's album is too black. Right.
Like, say that again.
Exactly. I know. That's the whole point. It's a very dumb thing to say,
Yeah,
but it's very much the perception, in regards at least to that Beyonce album that a lot of people were like. I mean, to the point that SNL made a sketch about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people live inside their mental fucking huts for some
right. Some people just don't want to be convinced otherwise.
I mean, one of my guys, his baby mom's is she's white and Mexican, but her grandmother, before she died, would not go to the north side of the city. She wouldn't go north at all. I'm going to get robbed. They're going to beat me. They're going to stab me. Not taking mind that on the south side where she lives has the biggest influence of Latin kings ever. They've had them in the paper more than once, extortion, murder, just all types of shit. And there's more things that's actually happening that's really serious over here than there. Mm-hmm. And crazy that They just had the misconception, like I'm going to go to the north side and the blacks are just going to beat me up. The blacks are going to do this to me or whatever. Like,
You know, it's a lot of as far as black people go, our depictions on TV is what most people who don't deal with black folk too much. That's all they have. You know what I'm saying? That's all they know. You know, so it's not.
It's why Blackish is so popular among white viewers because they're like, oh, it's black for accessible blacks.
Right,
It's
right.
like we've been monetized into this sort of like we're just a product, and that's very much so the black experience in America. I mean, this country was founded on the slave, or founded on slavery, and then even before that, genocide. So it's gross, and I'm surprised that people are still shocked that all of these atrocities occur daily. I feel as though that basically what I'm doing right now is that I'm writing an opinion piece for my job about the importance of Black Panther and the importance of Luke Cage, and with all of this shit that's been happening with unarmed black people being shot and killed for literally no reason. And for using their rights to understand why they are being investigated and why they are being arrested or just harassed by police for baseless reasons. It lends a lot more social commentary for what's happening today with a character like Luke Cage being prevalent, where he's literally being shot, but he's unbreakable. If only we could all be that lucky.
Right.
A bulletproof black man. Oh,
Exactly.
I don't know. That sounds scary.
Oh, I can't. That's exactly what they're thinking, though. They're like, there's nothing more terrifying than a bulletproof black man. That's why Luke Cage is top 10 superheroes of all time. He's had some of the greatest comic arcs that people have never heard of.
Well, if you listening to this and you're a young black male, you're probably not gonna be bulletproof in your lifetime, but the closest you could get to that is getting in the books, man.
Absolutely.
If you exercising your mind and you in the pursuit of knowledge, that's terrifying too to some of these racists and some of these people out here.
I intimidate my fair share. I graduated as valedictorian from my high school, and then I graduated from college with a 3.85. I intimidate a lot of people, and that the reason why I'm in writing and I'm expressing my social positions is because there are so many black youth and so many people of color that don't have that platform. So I use that in order to uplift my community. I don't use it to flex or just to say, hey, I'm a really good writer, I'm trying to get my portfolio. No, it's all about social service. That's what everyone can be doing at any level. I mean, we can shit on Twitter and we can shit on e-activists all we want, but if you're able to take those views and just materialize it in any way, if you're able to show up locally and express your disdain for how your community is being handled, and you show up with friends and family, and eventually those friends of yours will invite their friends, and so on and so forth. I mean, it really does matter. And working at a local level is far more impactful than working at the national level. Nothing can change that quickly. It begins locally.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You got to walk before you crawl with everything, no question.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Any more questions coming in this chat? Anyone getting that third-party Megatron?
Nope. I don't collect Transformers. I wish I did, but I don't.
I got rid of all mine, man.
It's not the Apollyon. It's a new one, right?
We're gonna be getting a regular Hasbro Megatron sooner than later. I guarantee.
Yeah, I've seen some photos posted of it already. And some, it's like an unpainted prototype.
There's no question they're gonna let the successor, that MP10, go without giving.
I don't know, man. Unless something changes about the gun, as far as manufacturing guns and shit.
I don't even think that's an issue anymore. I think they're gonna do that shit no matter what. So.
Well, I think that's about it for questions in the chat.
All right, then we can wrap it up. We've been going for 3 hours and shit, and we talked about a bunch of shit that didn't have shit to do with toys. But
Hey, but it's information that
Well, I
needs to
can't
be
see
told.
about it, man.
Well,
You know?
we got a couple last ones coming in here from, I guess, a few people that we didn't get to during.
yeah, shoot.
All right, let's go quick. If you guys could buy from only one company, either NECA or Hasbro, who would you pick? I swear I didn't make that up. I did not make that one up.
Yeah,
Yes, hey, this is a question. Hey, that comes from Randy. Randy
Right.
gave me that question before he left this morning.
It's from John Glebus, a popular alias of Randy.
I don't believe this. That's really Randy. That's his alias, like Rusty Shackelford. That's his alias. I think I might have to go with Hasbro, man. Hasbro make Marvel Legends. I think I like Marvel Legends a lot more than the shit that NECA puts out. I mean, I don't
What
want
if
to buy.
NECA made Hasbro Legends?
I'll tell you what though, my fucking NECA alien space and my Detolf is looking fucking nice as fuck. I'll tell you that, but I'm gonna stick with that.
All right, watch what that let Peppy bump it and knock that shit over. Let's see how it looks then.
Basically, it's over.
All right. Right. I'm like, damn, man, you had 100 aliens. That ain't 100 aliens. This is all pieces. Shit.
All right, and the final question. Are any of you guys getting the next wave of Mythic Legions?
I didn't even know they was coming with something
You know
else.
what? I don't know. They would have to. This is the biggest thing with me and Mythic Legions. The Four Horsemen, their lines are pretty nice. They have really nice sculpts, and I think that these figures they move pretty nice and everything. My biggest problem is because it's a independent line. They pretty much have to use the same bodies over and over and over and over again, and the interchanging parts and the mix matching of parts doesn't leave a lot of creativity, I would say.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can create a couple of characters, but after a while, they all start looking the same. And I've never really liked for everybody just like they all going to fucking Weapon and Armor Depot and off time to go and get their shit. It's like you know what I mean? Like with the same thing like Masters of the Universe. I mean, so Skeletor and everybody wore the same furry draws and like where are they getting this shit from? And so I mean, so I don't know if I'm going to actually get them if they have some nice designs for a couple of the characters. I'll grab a couple, but I'm definitely not jumping head in.
No doubt.
They have the pre-orders up on like storehorseman.com, but it's like their wave 1.5 right now.
Yeah. Was it a mix of older figures and then some newer figures?
Yeah, there's like one or two newer ones there, and there's like a couple of deluxe sets too. I like the Mythic Legions line. I wish I'd known about it, way back then. I would have jumped on it because, I've been wanting some like fantasy figures, just straight up fantasy. But I mean,
wouldn't that entail you buying a figure of a naked Randy or something?
Yeah, that was my thing. Is that if I bought these Mythic Legions, I wouldn't have money for that.
Oh my god.
Right.
It's fantasy. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, they're pretty decent. I have the what is it? A Minotaur. I have the Minotaur, and I have the Vampire, and then the One Blood Knight, and they're pretty decent, man. But I mean, you're kind of limited once you get them, man. You're not gonna have a whole lot to do with them unless you jump into the line and really, flex that thing out.
All right. On that note, y'all want to plug some shit?
Yeah.
That might be a good idea. Well, why don't you go first? Get us out of here.
All right, so listen, we got a lot of shit going on the A.C.B.A. website. You got to kind of like look, and I've been saying this for a while. It's a specialty shop, so we have shit pops up every so often, and there's really no real rhyme or reason to how we put stuff up. When we get it, we put it up. Like for instance, like I said, we're gonna be having some Punishers up on there this week. They're going to go fast because there's not going to be that many of them, and we're going to offer them to our people out of the country first anyway. But that'll be up there. Some of the 3-packs with Kate Bishop and Vision and Sam Wilson Cap will be up on the site this week as well. There's a bunch of loose figures up there that are without Build-A-Figure parts, basically. Bunch of Spider-Man figures are still up there if you wanted to double or triple up on Miles or Ultimate Peter Parker. Some of those things are still up there. We have a few cases of the Abomination Build-A-Figure wave left. Those cases went extremely fast in the past 48 hours. So they're pretty much all gone. There may be like 4 cases left of those. We're still waiting for the X-Men Build-A-Figure wave to show up. There's going to be plenty of those figures, though. So if you are here or you're out of the country or whatever, it doesn't matter. If you want to buy single-carded versions of some of those figures, it doesn't matter. They're not going to be scalper prices. They're going to be regular retail prices for the shop. It doesn't matter if it's Wolverine or Deadpool or whatever the case may be. So look out for that. Just be patient. Just sit tight. And cutouts will start shipping this week. Flight stands have already been shipping. If you have an order that has flight stands, cutouts, and tendrils in it, you may be waiting a little bit longer for that. But for the most part, stuff has been shipping. Like, we've been extremely busy with shipping here and there. Just articulatedcomicbookart.com. Keep an eye on the website. We try to keep people informed through Instagram and through the fan page as far as when things are coming on and when new things happen. Oh, this is the last week to pre-order the Posing as Half the Battle, the G.I. Joe theme shirt. So if you didn't get that pre-order in, you have until I think this coming Sunday or next Sunday to do that, and also the red NWO style A.C.B.A. t-shirt. This is the last week for those 2 things. I said this last week. We still didn't get around to the raffle for the Goku. I'm hoping it'll be tomorrow or Tuesday. But you didn't miss out yet if you threw down for that. We just didn't do it yet. You didn't miss out. That's pretty much it. Follow us on Instagram at Articulated Comic Book Art. Oh, Summer Shots. Summer Shots is going on right now on Instagram. It's a very easy contest to get into. A.C.B.A. Summer Shots 2016. There are 3 hashtags that you can submit a photo under, meaning that you can submit up to 3 photos for this competition with a chance to win 3 separate prizes within those categories. So the categories are A.C.B.A. _ Webb heads, Webb with 2 B's, as in the late Glenn Webb. This was a tribute to Glenn, so everything is Spider-Man themed for this category. So just submit something that's Spider-Man themed. It could be Spider-Man or any of his supporting characters for that display. Then there's also A.C.B.A. _ White Hot 2, which is the second time that we did the White Hot challenge, which means you just need a complete white backdrop. It should be an infinite white, nice and bright, and you can pretty much do anything that you want on that. But the idea is for it to be just clean, cropped, and contained with a white backdrop. And then the third theme is A.C.B.A. _ Wipeout. And that should be something that's water themed. So it can be simulated water, like with the Tamashi effects or with saran wrap or whatever you're doing to simulate the water, or you can actually submerge your figures in real water if you have a good idea. But it's water themed. So those are the 3 themes. You submit a photo under one of those themes. Just hashtag it to that particular theme, and that's it. You win. We giving away some fucking nice prizes. We didn't announce the prizes yet, but as always, we always give away really good stuff, and this will be no different. I think we'll probably announce some of the prizes this week. I'm pretty sure Deadpool will be part of one of those prizes. A Deadpool with the new Deadpool cutout pack that we drop in, and the Deadpool extra head cast and tacos from Dave Castle. That'll all be part of one prize. So I'm pretty sure that'll be one thing. And something else. We got some things sent in to us from Entertainment Earth and from Big Bad Toy Store for the comp. So it'll be some nice prizes. And that's pretty much it for me. And if you're listening to this and you're watching this now, you're on my channel, so you can, check out what I have on my channel. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Boog _ A.C.B.A. And that's it. Next.
All right. Well, they call me Colonel Crackers on Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, and Steam. If you guys want to play some online games, You can catch me on the Raw Live and Unedited Podcasting Network. We do a show called What's Worth Watching about television. We have other shows such as the Podcasting Dead, which is about The Walking Dead. We got Talk of Ice and Fire. We got The Loading Screen. Always Open Your Toys. It is an entire network, a family of shows, and there's tons of stuff for you to either listen to or even contribute. That's about it for me. Oh, remember to follow this podcast on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/A.C.B.A podcast. Still trying to get the backlog of episodes totally updated. Billy, where you at?
Pancho?
Macho.
Yeah, what's up? You can find me online. My name is Poncheesy online. I'm mostly active on Instagram on the daily, but I put a lot of work into my YouTube stuff. My YouTube channel is Poncheesy Games, just because I can't change it. But I'm working on a bunch of different stuff. I started doing weekly Dragon Ball Super recaps, and it's not just talking about what happened in the episode. It's talking about different themes that are being displayed in the episodes and some smart theories, not just like, yo, what if they were really fused, though? But like actual smart themes and smart theories that have some actual weight and precedence in the universe and stuff like that. And I have an A.C.B.A show called Posing Ain't Easy that's been on hiatus for about a year, and I finally started working back on that again.
Yay.
And that's it. That's pretty much it.
Are you going? I'm sorry to interject, but are you going to be recording a after show for the Super episode that aired earlier?
Yeah, I'll either record that tonight or maybe tomorrow. I'll probably end up doing it tonight just because I want to watch it again. It'll probably be a little shorter just because this week's episode was a lot of...
It felt fillery.
It was very chill, but it was a lot of history and a lot of like talking and a lot of stuff like that, which I almost enjoy as much as the fighting and stuff like that. But in terms of like other videos, I have a couple of other videos planned. Like I said earlier in the podcast, the review for that Saiyan Space Pod is coming, as well as some other shows of mine, like unboxing stuff. Like I got some really dope Dragon Ball animation cells in the mail, and then I'm probably gonna do a video on that probably.
Nice.
And that's me.
All right. Well, you guys can follow me at Indternet. That's spelled ENDTERNET. I'm always trying to bring the highest quality comic pics possible because I really hate the way in which Google Images look on my phone. But I'm going to try to compete in A.C.B.A White Hot. Only issue right now for me is that I do not have a digital camera because my parents decided to take an impromptu trip to Canada, and they took their camera with them. And I do not have my own DSLR, so now I'm having to wait for them to come back in order to actually get my shot. But hopefully I'll enter, and if not, I'll at least enter after. I'll be fashionably late to the party. But yeah, follow me on Instagram, or don't be like Pharaoh Black and don't follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, he don't follow me.
I don't think he follows me either.
I feel so unspecial knowing.
10:30, we out of here. Till next week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for enduring me talking all that shit, but I had to. And,
It was fun.
until next week, peace.
Peace.
Bye.